trusted source to tell me right before we came on the air that he doesn't think the search is going to be very long, and he thinks that Danny has his guy. And it would not give me anything beyond that, whether it's that makes me feel like it's not Elander. But if I was talking with John Reed before the show, and we both feel like Elander is we all know it's the easy choice, right? It's also for Danny the safe choice, because I think people will rally around it. The fans will buy the box, the new suites and everything. And we will, as a fan base, rally around this guy and try to set him up for success. If it's not Elander, if Danny wants to bring in, quote unquote, his guy, then that's going to be a little bit different, and I'm not saying it couldn't work. I'm the guy who said, who the hell is Tony Vitello?
Right.
In 2017. So take my hiring suggestions and criticism with the proverbial grain of salt. Mm-hmm. Okay. But I do think that if he brings in his own guy, it's kind of a slap into the face to all those players in the program that clearly want Elander to have the job.
Big reason they all came here. He was our recruiting coordinator.
And it's a big gamble that, if it doesn't work out, you're going to be perceived, whether this is fair or not. There will be a perception that you are the guy that tore down Tennessee baseball.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know. I think if he does this, he's playing with fire at that point. If it doesn't work out.
Bob, we're talking about Danny White has had the Midas touch ever since he's been here. And, people will criticize him. Well, you tried to hire Tony Elliott. Okay, he didn't. Whether he lucked into it or not. He brought Josh Heupel here, a guy who has largely fixed Tennessee football and brought the excitement and the enthusiasm back. He has done nothing to damage basketball. He's brought Kim Caldwell in. We're all excited about that. And until now, things have been going swimmingly in baseball. Let's be honest, we don't really care about anything else. Not much.
No, that's true.
Not enough to raise a stink over it. This is a kind of a inflection point in his tenure as athletics director.
It is. I'm trying to think back to when there's been a more polarizing topic than this one, by the way. This is
outside of football. Yeah.
Fulmer, obviously.
Yeah. Outside of football, I would say though that this,
and let's be honest. I thought about this morning, thinking back to Fulmer, and I realized that we'd slipped off. Wasn't as good as we were in the late 90s, early 2000s, but, blowing him out precipitated the kind of the downfall of our program for the better part of from 09 to till we got a Heupel.
To your point, Bob, we put out the Danny White approval poll yesterday and over 1,000 votes cast, 15% strongly approve, 38% approve. So 53% approval rating. That's almost 50-50.
Right.
And it's always been like 90 in the past when we've done this for Danny. So it's split down the middle. It's a divisive topic. Danny White is a divisive figure right now. And people are listening to this right now who are on Danny's side saying, no, it's not. It's only the idiots who don't like him. But it's almost like when, as a centrist in these troubled political times, whenever I talk to people I have friends who are way left, and I have friends who are way right. And they tell me, well, it's the others, they're the idiots. And I try to tell them, it's like, well, that's exactly what they think of you.
Yeah.
And people who are partisan just cannot wrap their minds around that. So that's what I would say to the people who are like, the people who are angry at Danny don't know what they're talking about. He's been great. They're just loud redneck idiots. That's exactly what the people who are down on Danny right now think about. They think, well, you're just a sheep. You don't know. You're a casual. You don't understand what's going on behind the scenes. And Bob, you and I talked about this on the phone earlier today. I don't know which camp I fall into because I don't know what's the truth. He got up there yesterday and said, there's no truth to the story that I took money away from baseball and gave it to women's basketball. He was very definitive about that. And I want to take him at his word, but I hear from other people that I trust behind the scene. I've not heard this directly from Tony. I wouldn't expect that he would say this publicly, but I've heard also that, it's you can quibble about did he take money from baseball and give it. It's pretty clear that Tony felt like he was not getting what he thought he was getting.
Yeah.
So it's divisive.
It is. It is. And again, what I keep coming around to is whatever happened at this point, it's off into the moon because Tony's gone and you're not going to reel that thing back in. Again, my biggest complaint yesterday was really Danny had a chance to kind of calm the waters and put people a little more at ease, not like it's going to correct everything. And it just felt like a missed opportunity. That's all. I just feel like that was a pretty rough press conference, but that's really all I have left to say about it. That was the part that disappointed me more than anything. It's like, we don't know all the backstory on what happened. And again, it may just come down to Tony really wanted this opportunity and who would blame him? Quite honestly, it's a great one. Well deserved.
But we know that he stood in front of his team on Tuesday and said, I haven't decided yet.
Right. So
if we're believing everybody, right, we're believing Danny White, we're believing Tony Vitello, we're believing everything that is on record right now.
Yeah.
There was a chance to keep him. He had not decided as of Tuesday that he was going to take that job. And I'm left with my takeaway from the press conference is, man, you didn't, it doesn't sound like he really, really fought to keep him. And I think for those of us that love Tony and love this program that he's built, there's an expectation that your athletics director, who's the highest paid AD in the country, wouldn't pawn that off on a deputy or anything like that.
Right.
Would get personally involved this past week while that was going on, while Tony was vacillating, as he said he was, and say, hey, man, what can we do? Tell me what you want. You're Tony freaking Vitello.
Yeah.
We want to keep you. Doesn't sound like that happened. That was my only disappointment.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know about the money, the NIL, the revenue share, all that stuff. I don't know what to believe when it comes to that. But I was left yesterday feeling like our AD didn't fight to keep the most popular coach we've had in the modern era in any sport.
Yeah, no, and we're never going to know, right? We'll never know really what went on behind the scenes. So,
unfortunately, huh?
Maybe Nagy can figure it out for us someday. Write another book.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Chris Burke said yesterday on that podcast he was on with Kendall Rogers, that this will be talked about for a long time. I forget the quote, but he basically said there could be a book written about this.
I know we got to get to break, get CG in here. I'm sure he's got a lot to talk about. What did, at some point, are we going to talk about Buster Olney and Kurt Schilling and that whole deal? Maybe in the 5 o'clock hour.
Do we get Kurt Schilling in here? I mean, he says he's ready.
Oh yeah. No, thanks.
Shill.
No.
That's, are we hurting for a segment? Is that why we're?
Well, no. I mean, it just
there was a tweet.
I know.
He's interested.
I know, but why? Who cares? I mean, that's my point.
That's what I mean. It's. I know he's a lightning rod politically, but if he wasn't, he would probably be a Hall of Famer. That saying that he wants your job. I mean, that's worthy of some discussion, right? Even if it's just.
The only other name I saw that popped up that was threatened with the Shianoing was the Mangione at Kentucky, whatever that guy's name is.
No, you can't play small ball in this park. No, man. We
after 8 years of gorilla ball with Tony Vitello.
No, cannot do that. Quick timeout. The mighty Christopher Gabriel, KMJ Fresno, joins to give us his take on Tony Vitello and the future of Tennessee baseball. We might ask him about football as well on his way out the door. I mean, that's where we are right now. What a bizarre week, but here we are, and we continue with more Fan Run Radio after the break.
The Drive. Can't get enough Fan Run Radio? Download the free Fan Run app and take the best Tennessee sports conversations with you wherever you go.
Fan Run is giving away a huge prize package.
That's a big box. What's in there?
You're going to want to find out.
What's in the box? What's in the box?
A winner will be drawn live on Halloween during Fan Run Friday at Calhoun's on the River.
To learn how you can earn entries, make sure you're tuning in daily to Fan Run Radio and following us across all of our social media platforms on Facebook, YouTube, X, TikTok, and Instagram.
Your smile says it all, so make sure it's saying the right thing. At Knoxville Smiles, we believe healthy teeth mean happy lives. Now through the end of the year, we're offering half-price whitening with a cleaning. That's right, half-price whitening with a routine teeth cleaning at Knoxville Smiles. Call today to set up your appointment. 865-539-1776. That's 865-539-1776. Or book online at knoxvillesmiles.com. Don't wait another day to love your smile. Smile brighter with Knoxville Smiles.
Are you a federal employee facing workplace challenges like suspension or removal? Are you concerned about your security clearance with any federal agency? You know the Griffin Law Firm is your trusted ally in military legal matters. But did you know they also specialize in civilian federal employment law? If you're a federal employee facing workplace challenges like suspension or removal, if you're concerned about your security clearance with any federal agency, the DOE, FBI, FCC, or DOD, you might not know it, but you do have legal recourse. The Griffin Law Firm specializes in federal employment law, military law, and security defense law. VFL Marshall Griffin and his experienced team are ready to make your problem their problem, no matter which federal agency you work for. Don't face federal employment issues alone. Remember, remain silent, request counsel, call Griffin Law, 888-707-4282, online at griffinlawdefense.com.
Ready to launch your career? Axle Logistics is a leading third-party logistics company where excellence is an energy. With an award-winning culture, Axle proves that positive outcomes come from a positive environment and a work hard, play hard mentality. At Axle, the drive for success is infectious. And with an uncapped commission structure, hard work isn't just noticed, it's rewarded. For those with big goals and even bigger dreams, Axle Logistics is the place to start your career.
Have you ever found yourself wishing your clothes looked brand new again? Whether it's your favorite suit, that little black dress, or your comfy winter coat, Crown Cleaners can make it happen. From stubborn stains to delicate fabrics, the expert team at Crown Cleaners uses the latest cleaning technology to ensure your clothes come back looking and feeling fresh. Visit one of their 2 area locations, Kingston Pike on Bearden Hill or South North Shore Drive near Dunkin' Donuts. Online at crowncleaners.com. Crown Cleaners, a tradition of excellence.
From Mustard Tosser.
No, I vetted it through Mustard Tosser.
Okay, well,
It's not very funny, fellas.
you have different sources from Bear, evidently.
Yeah, maybe.
I broke some news before.
Yeah, and then I had to fix it. Let's welcome in Christopher Gabriel, KMJ Fresno, to the festivities. CG, good afternoon. How are you, sir?
Well, that's a complicated answer at this point.
I know.
I've been in a general state of annoyance since Tuscaloosa, for heaven's sake. I mean, the weather's nice here. It's very nice. I know that a week from tonight, in a location we cannot explain, myself, yourself, and Bear will be probably sucking down some bourbon and some medium rare to rare meat, and that'll be great because Knoxville, getting back to the mothership in Knoxville cannot come fast enough. But listen, going back to the end of the first half, I've just been generally annoyed, Russ.
I feel you, man. It's been a tough week. We were talking, there's a lot of people. I see our friend Chad Withrow on the Outkick show is doing his favorite Tony memories and all this stuff. And Basilio did it earlier today. And I was saying, CG, earlier, I can't do that yet, man. It hurts too much.
Fresh.
It hurts too much. I've been channeling my energies into like who's going to be next, and that hurts too. But I know this show has to go on. First of all, just your thoughts on Tony leaving, and this mystic connection you have with all things UT now, where Tony is going to be, well, I guess just a couple hours away from you in the Bay Area now. You'll have to pick up the slack and be our connection to Coach Vitello.
Well, to the latter point, I will land an interview with him out here because I do cover the Giants. I mean, I'm not a beat writer, but I cover them for KMJ. And, I've been in that park in the press box, plenty of times, and I've got connections inside the ball club. So in that respect, I don't know how long it's going to take to get it done, but I will get it done for myself, and for all of you and the great folks out in East Tennessee. And hello to all of you. Thoughts about Tony? Well, I'm no different than everybody else, right? I'm sick about it. I loved his style of coaching. I'm going to repeat things that have already been said over and over. They've been written over and over. He took a program that, it wasn't even dormant. The program was just there. We didn't even have good uniforms. It was just there. Everything was miserable. And now it's a powerhouse program, and it's one of the elite programs in the nation. And it's funny because I think a lot of our fellow Vols fans have gotten way too dialed into what other fans from other teams are saying. The teams I'm talking about. Well, let's just mention them. Folks from LSU and Arkansas, and all that stuff is part of fandom, right? But for anybody to dialed in about, your program is going to be a dumpster fire. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's still a national championship program. 2 years ago, it's a program that's getting $109 million facelift on its facility. It'll be one of the best facilities in the nation. They're on TV about 50 times a year. So it's a great place to come. I don't fault Tony for doing this. Listen, we've all had chances in our career, and certainly not at the level either money-wise or prestige marquee-wise of moving up. I remember when we all remember when Kevin Durant left Oklahoma City to go to the Golden State Warriors, and I remember the person who was at the head of the line giving him grief was Stephen A. Smith. And you want to talk about the pot calling the kettle black. I remember Stephen A. Smith when he was a columnist in the Philadelphia Inquirer, writing about the Flyers, the Sixers, Westchester College Athletics. Now it's Westchester University. And then, how many years later, he's making millions because what? Because an opportunity came along to go to New York and then to go to ESPN. Kevin Durant, he got ostracized for wanting to go to a better organization, to a world-class city, to a world championship team. Nothing wrong with that. Tony, I don't know how many times an opportunity to go to the major leagues is going to open. Obviously, that was something that was in his thought process. And that, of course, opens the door that everybody's been talking about. Well, did he get pushed out? Was he upset about Lady Balls? This and that, on and on and on and on and on. And there's enough stories that match the amount of stars you see in the sky at night. I don't know what to believe, what not to believe. I've certainly talked to some people that know more than I do because they're connected to the situation. I just know that it's somewhere in the middle of all this where him not quite seeing eye to eye with Danny White, the opportunity to go to a Major League Baseball team, somewhere in the middle there lies the truth. And I'm not going to be the one to throw out what I think is the truth because I'm just speculating like anybody else. I'm just bummed that he's leaving. But I believe, fellas, this idea that Tennessee baseball is suddenly going to be a disaster is ludicrous. I'm old enough to remember when John Wooden retired. And when the Great One retired, when the Wizard of Westwood retired in 1975 after he won another title, the thought was UCLA basketball was going to go away. Well, it took them a while. But they never went off the map. Did win another title. They've always been a good to very good program. We can look at the Lady Vols and say when Pat had to step down, and then Holly Warlick, and then Kelly Harper.
Hey, CG, let me jump in here, man. We're losing you there on the connection. Let's see if we can put him on another line, please. Call him back. Put him on another line. We'll continue with Christopher Gabriel, who suffice it to say, has thoughts on the Tony Vitello situation.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't want to put words in CG's mouth, but you kind of know where he's heading there. Is like life goes on for a lot of these programs, and I think his point is that he feels it will for Vol baseball too, and I wouldn't disagree with that. It won't be the same. That's all.
It won't be the thing about Tony. He had a little something extra, and this is as I read these names that we're being connected with. You're going up against Jay Johnson at LSU, Sully at Florida, Corbin at Vanderbilt, Dave Van Horn at Arkansas. This is a Shark Tank. Tony had a cheat code.
Yeah.
In terms of his charisma and personality that allowed him not to just swing with those guys, but to beat them on the reg.
Yeah.
And I don't know that any name I've seen connected with the job. Good names, winners.
Right.
They don't have that certain something else.
No, that's right.
Let's bring CG back in here. Chris, we got you.
Yeah, I hate when that happens. I was in the same. I'm always in the same spot in the K&J Broadcast Center that I always am. But sorry that happened. I guess the big point that I was making is that Tennessee baseball is not going away. It makes no difference what fans from other teams say. It's just that's fun and fandom, and that's great. We're happy for you, fans of LSU and Arkansas and Vandy, but the baseball program is not going away. I don't know what kind of impact the relationship between Danny White and Tony Vitello had, to what degree. I'm not going to say if any at all, because clearly there was something in play there. How much in play, I don't know. I watched the whole news conference, and it did strike me. And I was talking with, one of your media colleagues in town, Paige Dower, and it struck me that it was like, and I'm going to just embellish here. Well, Danny said, listen, Tony, thanks, man. Great stuff. Great job. Really appreciate it. Let's move on now. And that struck me odd, as did his 473. That got a little bit maddening. I didn't get a sense that Danny either was ready for the questions, wanted the questions, or really believed that Tony was going to leave. So that was a little bit of an awkward press conference, but I'm not going to go as far as what a lot of fans are saying, that, they're ready to burn his house down, figuratively, or maybe some are otherwise. I don't know. So I hate that he's leaving, but the names that I'm seeing as possibilities, and I think I heard you addressing that a moment ago, Russ. Listen, when you're following Tony Vitello, with the exception of Josh Elander, who knows the program, knows the culture, knows the vibe, the players like him, former players like him, outside of him, I'm not seeing anybody that's getting me excited. Like, yeah, let's bring in that guy from Eugene, Oregon. I can't even pronounce his last name. Wazakowski. I mean, it sounds like a character in Monsters, Inc. But I mean, it just, I don't know. It's going to be an adjustment period for all of us. The timing on this coming after Alabama, it could be better, but I don't know. The program's going to be fine. I think Tony left it better than he got it, and I think that's all you can ask for.
Hey, CG, appreciate you joining us today. It's good talking to you and hearing from you. I'm going to ask a question of you that I've asked a bunch of people. I've asked Chris Burke. We had former Vols on yesterday. I've asked them too. And that is this, we're talking about what's left behind as far as Tony goes. This is an unprecedented move, going to the majors. Clearly, it feels like Buster Posey felt like it was time to do something bold, and they're doing it. And, who's to say it won't work? But the question I have is, the difference is in those Major League Baseball locker rooms, the players are the show. And Tony is accustomed to being the show. And I'm just wondering your point of view on this as to how we think that's going to work. Now, Chris Burke said the guy's super adaptable, and I think he's going to need to be, because it's, the same style. He is who he is, but might have to tweak a little bit. But what are your thoughts?
Bob, that's a great question, and it's something that we discussed out here actually this morning at about 5 a.m. about an hour before my program. And I don't think the issue is Tony being adaptable. I think it's the clubhouse adapting to him. I remember you and I are old enough to remember when Steve Spurrier went to Washington. And I remember very well there were a number of players that went with anonymous that basically said, I don't care what he did at Florida. Who is this? What does he bring to us in the way of experience playing in the league, coaching in the league? And I think you may not necessarily hear the players in the Giants clubhouse saying this, but I absolutely believe, Bob, that there's going to be players in that clubhouse, in that organization, and there's going to be people in the organization at Oracle Park saying, I don't care. I don't care that this guy won a national championship in Tennessee. Tell me, what is his playing experience in the major leagues? What is his minor league managerial experience? What is his managerial experience, period, in major leagues? And the answers are 0, 0, 0. And so I think I think Tony, at a different level, Bob, is going to go through what Kim Caldwell went through coming to the Lady Vols. Here she is coming in. It's very well documented. She comes in, 2 coaches removed from Pat Summitt, coming in from D2, massive winning heritage in her, but there were Vols fans left and right like, well, who is Kim Caldwell? No one's saying that anymore. Nationally, locally, regionally, nobody's saying that about Coach Kim now. And I think with Tony, it's the same thing that I said to all of you on this show before Kim started coaching. It's the same thing with Tony, Bob. I think Tony's going to have to win early and often. This is a franchise that a lot of people, I've seen people laughing, oh, it's not a top 10 franchise. Sure it is.
Yeah, it is.
Do a little homework. This is a franchise that has won 8 World Series, tied with the Dodgers, 5th all-time. They're 6th or 7th in attendance this last year. They have a tremendously loyal fan base. They won 23 pennants. They play in one of the 2 or 3 best parks in all of baseball. You sit up in the upper deck on the right field line, on the first base line. It is the best view in baseball when you have downtown San Francisco, the Bay Bridge, and the Bay and the East Bay across the Bay. It's magnificent. He's got a lot of things going for him, but I believe he's got to win early and win often. This team this year underperformed all year and then started to perform in September, but it was too little, too late. They never could really string anything together. They've got a decent roster. They've missed the playoffs 4 straight years. Buster Posey is the kind of guy that does stuff like this, but the fan base, he will lose this fan base. And I am rooting for Tony as much as anything. Even though he's going to be coaching in the wrong orange, I am rooting for him just like most Vols fans. But if he doesn't win early and often, Bob, fellas, there's going to be a lot of folks in the media in San Francisco, and it's San Francisco, but they can be real harsh when you're talking about the Giants and the 49ers, and they will be all over him and Buster Posey if he doesn't win quick.
Christopher Gabriel, KMJ Fresno, our guest this afternoon. You can come and see CG a week from tomorrow. He'll be at our special Halloween broadcast event down at Calhoun's on the River as we get ready for the Vols and Oklahoma. Want you to make plans to come out and see us now. We'll be giving away the Fan Run Mystery Box at the end of that remote, so you'll have plenty of time. William and the Playbook are going to be broadcasting there, Basilio as well, so you can come by all day starting at 11 a.m. And get registered to win the Fan Run Box with over $4,000 worth of prizes inside.
Nice.
Yeah, it's and we don't know what it is. It's incredible.
It's Fan Run-tastic.
Yeah, it's going to be outstanding. So come out, and of course, CG and I will be there from 3 to 6, and we'll be doing the thing, man. It's going to be pretty awesome. Chris, we got to take care of the kitty cats first before any of that.
Yep.
Kentucky, Saturday. We have spent zero time breaking this matchup down this week just because of all this Tony V drama. But I mean, suffice it to say, it's one of those games where it's a no-win situation for Josh Heupel. You win, you're not going to get any credit. You've beaten Kentucky. It's what you're supposed to do. It doesn't change anything that happened last week. If you lose, it'll be a complete disaster. Your thoughts on the Kentucky game and if Tennessee can get back to its winning ways and setting up an opportunity then next week against Oklahoma. You win that one. Okay, you've done something and you're going to win back some of the goodwill you lost last week.
Yeah, this is the timing on this is interesting because it is coming at a time, as you have pointed out, and I'm sure you guys have been pointing it out the last couple of days. It comes at a time where we've been talking all the time when I come and join you about how great things are, right? Everything's cool. Everything's going great. Everything's wonderful. Well, now we're taking on water. I mean, there was a disaster last weekend and a 17-point loss in a game that, if the half ends differently, they stopped them on the first series of downs that the Vols could have been winning. Different game. And then the Tony Vitello thing, and now this. Who would have thought that we would be looking at a game in Lexington, Kentucky? It's in Lexington, is it not?
Yes.
Yeah, that's just going to double check. That was a game that was going to have to basically pick up the pieces of what's going on here. First of all, this is dangerous to say this about Tennessee football. There is absolutely no reason that the Vols should lose this game. We all understand, however, that doesn't always translate that way. A couple of years ago, there was no reason to lose in South Carolina, and they got their brains beaten in. They need to go up there with a sense of urgency. And I don't know. I guess I'm just tired of saying that. I'm really am. I'm a glass half full guy. But, Russ, man, I am tired of the same mistakes all the time when this team especially goes on the road. The sloppiness, the mental errors, the penalty, the disastrous penalty on the first offensive drive that ends up leading to a punt as opposed to maybe a score. This is on the road. Missed tackles. Last time I checked, you try to get your arms, you have two of them, and you try to wrap them around a guy as opposed to throwing your shoulder into a guy thinking he's going to go down. That curious coaching decisions, clock management from Coach Heupel right on down. It's just too much of the same over and over and over. And listen, don't get me wrong. I am very much in the corner of Josh Heupel, still very much a fan of his, but some of this nonsense, if not all of it, is it ever going to change? And if they come out at Kroger High School Stadium up in Lexington this weekend and don't have a sense of urgency, or there's any kind of hangover, and they allow Kentucky, and we've seen this happen in Lexington, they allow Kentucky to think that they can win this game, that's going to be a problem. It's going to be a dogfight. And now I'm questioning, even though they had resolve against Mississippi State, do they have the same resolve after having a couple of losses that could have been wins, especially the Georgia game? Russ, do they have the same resolve to get through 60 minutes and come out of Lexington with a win? I don't care if they win by 1 or 50. This team needs to come out hungry, ready to play football. I say it all the time. Aaron Hayden always talks about it. Pack up Neyland. You know what? They haven't. They're not packing up Neyland and going on the road. The only thing they're doing is basically packing up boxed or sacked lunches, getting on the bus to go to the airport. That's all they've been doing. So I don't know what has to happen when they go on this road trip this weekend. But at some point, and I know I'm broadening this out a little bit beyond Kentucky, but at some point, Josh Heupel and the echo chamber that is the coaching staff, they need to look in the mirror and actually look directly into the mirror and understand that while they may not be on the field making the plays or not making the plays, a lot of the decisions, all of the decisions are coming from them. And some things, Russ, have to change.
So Vols by 30. Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's always been close up there.
I know. It's always close.
That's what I'm anticipating is another just.
And I haven't looked at the weather up there because it would be perfectly on brand for it to be a nasty evening up there, windy and cold.
Hey, Bob, forgive my interruption. I have to know who whispered Vols by 30.
That was me. That was me.
Okay, because can I just I'll make a serious point about that. This is also an example of where Tennessee is not at the elite level yet, because elite teams more often than not go to Kentucky, or whatever team in the Big Ten, the ACC, the Big 12, whatever, and they do win by 30. The fact that Mississippi State was a dogfight, the fact that games at Kentucky are always that kind of a game. I know we talk about, it's a rivalry game. That's right. But we should wipe the field with these guys. whether we do that or not, we rarely do. But that to me is also part of the coaching situation, because when Josh got here, I mean, especially in 2022, similar talent, similar in terms of the skill positions. We put our feet on the throats of our opponent and not just stepped on them, but jumped on them over and over and over. We just don't do that anymore. And I'm just wondering, Russ, are we ever going to see that again?
Hope so.
Yeah, exactly. CG, one real quick one before we start to wrap here is all of this. We talk about Saturday, Sunday night, Duke, the Blue Devils coming to Knoxville. And I know it's an exhibition, but my goodness, man, you're a basketball nut like I am and Russ is. And I mean, this is going to be a fun evening watching those two play. We got Coach Barnes coming on later to talk about it. Should be a blast.
You know, I've never had the pleasure of meeting Coach Barnes, but I've always generally been the appetizer for Tony Vitello. Can we just go ahead and make this a pact now that I will be the appetizer for Coach Barnes? I would love to meet him sometime, and I'm sure that he's probably listening, thinking, "Well, I'll tell you what, I'm glad that guy on the West Coast, what's his name, CG? I'm glad he's teeing it up for me." Bob, this may be on paper the most talent Rick Barnes has had. I've only seen a lot of video, but the athleticism on this team is pretty impressive. And getting a matchup like this, yeah, of course, it's just an exhibition. But did anybody in East Lansing a couple of years ago look at that game in a sold-out Breslin Center as an exhibition? Did anybody look at last year's game? Was it Illinois or Syracuse? Forgive me.
The exhibition. It was Indiana.
Indiana. My mistake. Sorry. India. None of us. It's an exhibition only in name only. These teams are going out there to win, and it gives everybody, both coaching staffs and all the players, a chance to measure themselves against elite talent, and that's certainly what Duke will bring in. I love that they're coming here into TBA. I'm not going to call it the other thing. I'm just not going to do it. I can't wait to see what we look like. If we can stay healthy this year, it's really going to be a fun year to watch this team play. I don't know, Bob. Yeah, I like you. I am a basketball nut, and I hope. I'm curious what Rick's approach is going to be. If he's just going to say, we've got a structure, you've got to play defense, you've got to do X, Y, and Z, but I've got too many athletes on this team. I just got to let them play and find their rhythm.
Christopher Gabriel, KMJ Fresno at CG Program on X. Come see him with us next week at Calhoun's on the River. Halloween, Friday, before the Oklahoma game. CG, we love you, brother. Thanks so much.
Love you guys. Thanks for having me on. Go Vols.
See you, CG.
Christopher Gabriel, one more time. Got to take a quick time out. Back to wrap up hour number 1 of The Drive right after this.
The Drive. You're locked onto Fan Run Radio, 105.7 FM, 1340 AM, and online at fanrunradio.com.
Knoxville, get ready. The Big Sports Show is coming Saturday, November 8th at the World Exposition Hall. Meet your favorite sports stars, Hall of Famer Earl Campbell, baseball greats Wade Boggs, Dwight Gooden, and Jose Canseco, plus UT legends Shamiqua Holtzclaw, Carl Pickens, and many more. Autographs, photos, and memories you'll never forget, all in one huge day. Tickets on sale. Get yours now at bigsportshow.com. That's bigsportshow.com. The Big Sports Show, Saturday, November 8th, Knoxville. Don't miss it.
Are you ready to make your dream home a reality? Hi, I'm Bo Kregner, and here at the Kregner Group at Realty Executives, we know that finding the perfect home is more than just a transaction. It's about finding your sanctuary, your future, your happiness. Our team is dedicated to guiding you every step of the way, ensuring a smooth and stress-free journey towards home ownership. Whether you're buying, selling, or investing, we're here to help. Call me anytime at 865-742-1035 or just visit us online at bonoknowshouses.com.
It's time for the North Knox Siding and Windows High School Football Player of the Week. Brought to you by North Knox Siding and Windows. Call 865-689-0505 or visit them online at northknoxsidingandwindows.com.
This week's North Knox Siding and Windows High School Football Player of the Week is Central High School quarterback Caden Long. Long completed 21 of 27 passes for 246 yards and a touchdown in last week's 38-35 Central victory over Halls. Long also carried 19 times for 76 yards and 3 more touchdowns as the Bobcats improved to 7-2 on the season. Central High School's Caden Long, this week's North Knox Siding and Windows High School Football Player of the Week.
North Knox Siding and Windows, locally owned and operated. They can handle all your siding, window, gutter, and roofing needs. Call 865-689-0505 for a free estimate or go online to northknoxsidingandwindows.com.
Fall fans, reimagine your home at Broadway Carpets and Flooring for any remodeling or building needs. With a variety of carpets, rugs, hardwood, vinyl, and stone, Broadway has all the flooring and installation options you're looking for, including pet-resistant products like Pet Perfect Carpet from Shaw Floors. Visit their showroom in downtown Knoxville or the location in West Knoxville located on Kingston Pike near Pellissippi Parkway today.
Yee-haw! I've been hooting and hollering ever since I started betting with the VIP Play app. VIP Play has more than 200 leagues, every bet type you can imagine, live betting and live hosts, all with 24/7 support from real live people when you need them. Start betting better with the VIP Play app today.
Don't be a better, be a better with VIP Play today.
Download VIP Play today or head to VIPPlayApp.com. Make sure you use the promo code FANRUN to take advantage of their welcome bonus and so they know that we sent you. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-88-99789. Must be 21 or older and located in Tennessee to bet.
From Christopher Gabriel out there in Fresno. By the way, Lexington forecast Saturday night says cloudy with the high of 61 and a low of 39 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
So
might be a bit chilly.
Fall and
in Lexington, it might be a little bit crisp.
That actually sounds, by Lexington standards, nice.
Yeah,
I mean, it's.
Remember the year we went up there with Hendo Sanko and the narrative like he can't play in the cold?
Didn't yeah, and then
he played well. I remember being worried about that.
Yeah. Because his last year at Virginia Tech, he had some kind of weird event that happened during a game after he'd had COVID. Like, I always wonder if they just sent him back too early. He was still sick, got a fever from COVID. You know how you feel when you're sick like that.
Yeah, I don't know.
I couldn't imagine playing a football game.
I would struggle. I struggle, and it gets below 60. I'm like, oh man, kind of chilly. We turn up the heat a little bit.
I kind of like it.
I broke down and turned the heat on in the house this morning.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did too.
It was like 63 degrees or so in there.
I refuse to.
I turned that back. I cranked it up to 69.
I did it too. I shake my fist at you, KUB. You'll not get me to turn on the heat yet.
Let's get DR Vol in here. DR, you're on the drive. It's Fan Run Radio.
Hello, darkness.
I cut myself today.
God, it hurts, man. It freaking hurts. What are you going to do? I guess call in the sports show and bitch about it, I guess what I'll do.
I find that always helps.
It really does me. I'm being serious. It does help me talking to y'all. I couldn't get in yesterday. There was a better chance of me getting in to talk to the President of the United States. And I'm not complaining. I know y'all are busy. Y'all do best when the program's in meltdown mode. So shout out to y'all.
Thriving chaos, DR.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Y'all really do. It helps me. I mean, I found y'all under chaos. Russ posted a video about Shiano Sunday. I turned this app on and some guy named Bear is citing a riot. Insurrection, some may say, telling people to get down to campus and burn mattresses, break windows, or something like that. I don't remember exactly what you said.
Don't push us.
Bob, you said something about that Danny White press conference, and I cannot believe the sheep talking about how good he did. They're just idiots. But the word that stuck out to you is what stuck out to me, unprecedented. I am sick and tired as a Tennessee fan of hearing that word. Like you said, that's what he gets paid to do, is handle that kind of crap. And I hated hearing that word. That triggered me.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I again, highest paid athletic director in the country. And I would have just liked something that reflected optimism. And I think he thought he was conveying that, but what I saw was like, it was kind of uneven, uneasy, dare I say smug on a few occasions. I mean, it was not good. It was not good.
And we just lost the best coach we've ever had on campus in my lifetime. And he starts out talking about the budget. I don't give a damn about the budget. I know how much we've been squeezed for our tickets, and every time we go down there, hotels, parking, all that. I don't want to hear about budget when it comes to that crap. It does me no good.
Yeah.
And hear him talk about that. Other than that, I didn't really get mad at anything else he said. I think the budget unprecedented, and it just, man, guys, look at the old pictures. Like I saw somebody says like losing a family member. I don't know if I go that far, but it is sad to look back at the memories, like the lemonade stand. And Russ, I was thinking about back. Y'all did play a small role in building Tennessee baseball. Y'all had him on for Jam, Not a Jam back in COVID. I didn't miss a show for that. You know, there's nothing else to do, and you had him on, and kind of helped me I wasn't even a fan of Tennessee baseball. He was interesting to listen to, and I enjoyed that.
He took that very seriously.
Yeah,
believe it or not, the of all things, a jam or not a jam, he took a lot of pride in it.
Yeah, and you know the budget stuff, like Danny touting the budget and the stadium is like, that's all because of Tony. That is all because of Tony. We would not give a damn. You know, we talk about all these like Arkansas sacrificing women's basketball, LSU sacrificing men's basketball so that they can funnel more money towards baseball. If not for Tony, we would gladly sacrifice baseball.
Absolutely.
So that we could funnel that money towards women's hoops and men's and whatever else, you know, but because of him and his personality, his sheer force of personality,
right,
is why we're even having these conversations. And for Danny to be up there yesterday and talking like it's some commitment from the university, it's like, dude, you did that because you had to, because we demanded it of you.
Because we were going to lose him if you didn't.
Man. That being said, growing up, I hated the Giants because I couldn't stand Barry Bonds. Hank Aaron is the true home run king. So Buster Posey, he can go to hell. And I wish that guy that would have hit him at home had hit him a little bit harder. Y'all have a good day, guys.
Oh, no.
Former Seminole, never forget.
The thing that somebody reminded me of today, who's the guy from the Rangers organization that turned him down?
Oh, Hundley.
Uh-huh.
That guy. If he had just taken the job, man.
Yeah.
If he had just taken the job, we would not be having this conversation.
Remember we say that, who was it? A couple of people during the USC search, and when Kiffin hightailed it out, just one of those people had said yes.
Nobody even knows that guy's name, Hundley. That's whose fault this is.
DR's just drugged me back into the whole
deepest, darkest pit of depression.
Didn't need that.
Bob, you lied us all the time about where you're at, buddy.
We got some Lexapro out here. Let's go and dive in. Stay with us. Hour number 2 of The Drive coming up next year on Fan Run Radio.
The Drive. Join us this Friday at the Casual Pint North Shore for a live broadcast of The Drive. Swing by between 3 and 6 p.m. and register to win the Fan Run Mystery Box. Pick up a Fan Run t-shirt and sample the Casual Pint North Shore's new Thanksgiving turkey sliders, all while you sip on a cold beverage and get ready for the Vols and Kentucky. It's The Drive live this Friday from 3 to 6 at the Casual Pint North Shore, 2045 Thunderhead Road, inside the Blue Building next to Soccer Taco. Be there.
Got a problem tree looming over your home? Call ECR Total Landscapes. Whether it's trimming, removal, or storm cleanup, our certified pros get the job done safely and efficiently. We're licensed, insured, and ready 24/7 for emergency calls. Big or small, we cut them all. ECR Total Landscapes. Call now for a free estimate, 865-384-2012, and mention promo code FANRUN for free stump grinding on any tree removal now through the end of the year. Also, visit us at ecrtotallandscapes.com.
Citizens National Bank.
We believe a good game plan is essential for success. With a CNB Plus Perks checking account, you'll save money with cell phone protection, roadside assistance, identity theft protection, and more. Banking at CNB has its perks. Find out more at cnbtn.com.
Citizens National Bank. Banking never felt so good.
Member FDIC.
Barley's has live music on weekends, general team trivia on Wednesday nights at 8 p.m., and now live sports trivia courtesy of the Knoxville Trivia Guys every Thursday night upstairs. The game starts at 7 p.m. and is free to play for everyone, so head on down to the Old City and show off your sports knowledge and win gift cards to Barley's. Use those gift cards to buy some delicious food and drinks, and you can take it all in with their wide selection of TVs and indoor projectors. Barley's Tap Room and Pizzeria.
In a world filled with deadlines and screens, sometimes we forget the simple joys of life, days filled with special moments. At Inward Half, we understand the essence of these moments. Feel the difference between our breathable fabrics and flexible apparel as you disconnect from the hustle and bustle and reconnect with what truly matters. Inward Half, simple luxury for on and off the course.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
The number one problem we see at our clinic is delaying treatment. ED can get worse.
Book your appointment right now. Call 865-544-8220. Prefer privacy? Book online in under 30 seconds at menspronknoxville.com.
At our clinics, men's sexual health is the whole job. Look, I'm a normal guy too. I hate going to the doctor, but we've helped so many guys in here just like you. Even if pills have failed, our medical team is going to take the time to talk you through it. Same day in-house lab, and the treatments, well, they could change your life.
Your local medical team has your back. ED, performance, Peyronie's, size and shape modeling. We tailor what works for you.
I'll get to the point. Can you imagine epic performance and epic sex? Yeah, I said it.
A stronger you is closer than you think. We're available right now. Call 865-544-8220 or book in 30 seconds or less at menspronknoxville.com. Men's Pro Knoxville, making it happen.
It's time for the Drive's Top 4 at 4.
Hour number 2 of the drive underway, Fan Run Radio, and it begins with the top 4 at 4, brought to you this afternoon by the Casual Pint North Shore, where we will be live tomorrow. Great way to end the week. Come on out and join us at 2045 Thunderhead Road, just off South North Shore Drive, tomorrow from 3 to 6.
At number 1, Tennessee football released its weekly injury report last night with a couple of notable names on it. Linebackers Arion Carter and Ben Bolton, tight end Ethan Davis, and wide receiver Radarius Jackson were all listed as questionable. Jermod McCoy, Ricky Gibson, and Travis Smith are still listed as out. And Josh Heupel said earlier this week that quarterback Joey Aguilar will be good to go following some injury scares last weekend.
Yeah, Arion Carter has turf toe in both his big toes.
How does that even happen?
That's. I've never had turf toe, but they say that is just excruciating.
No, you can't walk.
A lot of guys can't just go ahead and get surgery or whatever, but I'd assume he's getting some sort of injection or something to be able to play with.
Injection, they'd put like a metal plate in your cleat to try and protect you from it, but like, if you got turf toe in both feet.
Does it worry you at all about your boy? I mean, Joe Burrow tore it completely off the bone.
Oh, but he already had surgery on it. I mean, of course, I'm worried about it.
There's
but
no guarantees. I don't want you to get depressed or anything, but it could be potentially career ending.
I went through that a while ago. Let's just hope Arion Carter isn't grade 3 in both toes and that it's just like a grade 1 in both feet.
Oh, he's still playing at a.
Yeah.
I know people have been critical of him and our linebackers, but I mean, athletically, he's flying around. Yeah, he overruns plays, and like he's still learning how to play the position at the highest level, but I think he's a good player in this story of him playing through these injuries and the toughness that he's showing this year. It endears him to me.
He's been a rock on defense. Has he been playing with turf toe in both feet for most of the year?
I don't know how long, but I heard that last week that he's pretty banged up.
That's brutal. And at number 2, longtime SEC referee Ken Williamson has reportedly been permanently suspended from officiating conference games.
Permanently suspended. If it's permanent, that's not a suspension.
Well, permanent
You've
suspension
been fired
from conference games.
Just conference games.
Oh.
After a series of questionable calls of late, including in the controversial Auburn-Georgia game 2 weeks ago. The decision has come after a thorough SEC review of 11 complaints made against Williamson and his crew, many stemming from Georgia's 20-10 win over Auburn on October 11th.
Yeah, there were what? Did you say 11 accusations and
11 filed complaints,
and 9 of them were validated.
9 of them?
Yeah.
This guy's either not very good at his job or...
People have been wanting these officials held accountable for so long, and so I guess you have to applaud the SEC for doing it. Now, he was the guy that they didn't catch the Auburn-Oklahoma thing where the guy was lined up on the sideline.
Was that him too?
I believe that was him. And then he was the guy at the Auburn-Georgia game where they had the controversial play on the goal line there.
This guy must hate Auburn.
The Auburn-Georgia game was the one. I think that was the straw that broke the camel's back. I mean, there were so many calls.
Oh, that video of the AD there just reaming the official out on the way off the field.
Oh, it's crazy.
That guy looks very familiar. I'm sure. If I'm not, I want to go back and I meant to do this and I just forgot about it. Part of me thinks that he may have been one of the referees on the field for the infamous mustard golf ball game.
Well, I do think I had read somewhere, maybe it was this past game against Alabama, that there were members of that crew that were assigned to that as well.
Yeah. He's not the only one, if we're being honest. I mean, they've got some really screwy calls that go on.
Yeah, but I mean, the Auburn-Oklahoma game and the Auburn-Georgia game are probably, the 2 worst officiated SEC games this year?
This year. Maybe.
At number 3, Portland Trailblazers coach Chauncey Billups, Miami Heat guard Terry Rozier, and former Cleveland Cavaliers player and assistant coach Damon Jones have been arrested as a part of a pair of wide-ranging investigations related to illegal sports betting and rigged poker games backed by the Mafia. A total of 34 people were arrested as the result of a years-long investigation covering 11 states and involving tens of millions of dollars. U.S. Attorney for Eastern District of New York, Joseph Nokella Jr., called it, quote, one of the most brazen sports corruption schemes since online sports betting became widely legalized in the United States.
Is that Damon Jones, the guy who played at Georgia way back in the day?
I don't know.
I'll find out.
He had a twin brother, I want to say.
Wild stuff that may end up getting over into college basketball as well.
Yeah, this stuff runs deep, apparently.
It's another thing. All these coaches, I'm sure Rick Barnes, we can ask him here in a minute, but I'm sure that he and every other college coach around the country is calling his guys together and just,
going back
again, hey, guys, for the umpteenth time, don't gamble, man. Like, you can get in serious trouble.
And I mean, it feels ironic, but I really believe this. Now that there's legalized sports betting, it's so accessible. It's worse, honestly, than beforehand.
Well, yeah,
like,
and manipulating stuff.
I don't know. I was thinking about that earlier. Is it worse, or is it just now out in the light? And back in the day, before all these websites and everything, this stuff was happening, and you just never heard about it.
I'd say that. I'd lean more towards the latter.
I think it's easier to catch now because everything is done either through an
That's what I'm
app
saying.
or online, and they've got these software. Apparently, the big mistake these knuckleheads made was they were making these massive bets that were coming in from areas of the country, just huge bets that were way out of the norm for an under on Rozier. And he takes himself out of the game.
That stuff is always going to get flagged now.
Yeah. Well, do you think if all this stuff goes through and it turns out to be exactly what they're accusing him of, is this a worse case for the NBA than the Tim Donaghy thing back in the 2000s, or is
It's a great question. I don't know.
Because when you think, I mean, you look back at that, that was an official working closely with the mafia, trying to rig games and get bets.
Anytime you have players, coaches, officials manipulating games for gambling purposes,
it's all the same.
It's terrible, man.
What the article I read in ESPN, four of the five families in New York were involved in this.
Then you got Tony Soprano running his poker game out of the local Days Inn down on the Jersey Turnpike, and that's not something you want to be associated with.
$10 is a ZD.
Crazy stuff. We'll see how that one.
Multisanti and his crew coming in to try to knock off the game to make their bones.
That was actually little Richie, or little Jackie. Yeah,
haven't seen it. At number 4, Blue Jays rookie Trey Savage will start Game 1 of the World Series on Friday against the defending champion LA Dodgers and Blake Snell. But a decision on activating shortstop Bo Bichette still has officially yet to be made. Blue Jays manager John Schneider said Bichette has recovered from a sprained left knee that sidelined him for a month and a half and may be activated for the World Series.
Is this kid that's going to pitch tonight for them? Is he an 18-year-old rookie, or did he go to college?
I don't really know much about this guy.
If he was in high school last year, I kind of feel like that's a pretty big ask, Bob. 18-year-old kid on the mound.
This kid is 22 years old.
So he went to college.
Or he's been in the system for a couple years.
Eastern Carolina, I think is where he went to.
I'm sorry, guys. I just can't do big league baseball right now.
Really? It's a World Series, Russ.
Am I going to have
love
to
this time of year?
America's team's in it.
Am I going to have to take the World Series off of tomorrow's
I don't want to
segment?
think about Major League Baseball.
What did you just say?
I said America's team is in it.
Bob's got a huge man crush going on right now. Admitted man crush.
I'm right there with him.
Oh, and Shohei, yeah.
I love Shohei Ohtani.
I hope the Blue Jays beat their brains out.
You going to pull for the Giants? Is it too soon to ask?
Who, me?
Yeah. I know you aren't.
No.
You want room for Tony?
I mean, I hope Tony does well, but I'm not going to pull for the San Francisco Giants. No. Thank you, Walker. That is the top 4 at 4. It's brought to you this afternoon, as I said, by the Casual Pint North Shore. Coming out and see us tomorrow as we do the show live out there, South North Shore Drive, 2045 Thunderhead Road. They're inside the blue building over there next to Soccer Taco and Kazzy's. And weather looks like it's going to be excellent. I'm going to sit outside, drink a cold beer or two, try some of those Thanksgiving turkey sliders, maybe some pretzels and beer cheese, stuff like that, and just sort of kick off what should be a lovely sports weekend. We are going to do a watch party on Saturday at Barley's downtown as well. Come out, see us, get registered to win the Fan Run box. We're giving that away a week from tomorrow at Calhoun's on the River. Over $4,000 worth of merchandise is inside the Fan Run box. What could it possibly be? You know what I wonder? Do you think that we have one of those? And I always wanted one of these when I was a kid. Those little big wheel, like not big wheels, the motorized carts. That's like, a Bigfoot,
a go-kart,
or Gravedigger. Those little electric cars that kids drive.
Yeah,
one of those.
The toddlers drive. I wanted a mini bike. That's what I'm hoping in there is like a mini bike or maybe a go-kart.
But those little boats
I'll take you for a ride
that have kind of the Temu boats. That would be cool. Little Temu boat.
What if it's like a total throwback? It's like those bookshelf stereos. One of those is in there. Remember those?
I mean, they should. I mean,
nice
we're
stuff.
a radio station. Give away a nice sound system.
Yeah.
Clock radio, maybe.
Clock radio.
Be good.
What do you guys tell me? Like, we're not going to have old guy stuff in there. There's not going to be a damn grandfather clock in the box.
George Foreman Grill. George Foreman Grill. Let's go.
I'll tell you what there could be. It could be a Blackstone in there. You never know. Yeah. That's the thing. Pretty much everything up to about the size of a small car and under could fit in there. Just incredible.
Come out, get registered for it tomorrow at the Casual Pint North Shore Football Friday edition of the show. Give us your pick for the game tomorrow. The score prediction thread is live on Facebook, the Crown Cleaners Crown Pick of the Week. Closest score prediction, winning gift cards from Crown Cleaners and the Pizza Kitchen. That is on Facebook.com/The Drive with Russell Smith. Like our page. Give us your score prediction. All right, so setting up our chat with Rick Barnes. Coming up here in just a few minutes. What are the questions we have to ask Rick Barnes on the show today? Obviously, a Duke, the season opener. It's not the season opener, but it kind of is the season opener against Duke.
I've been trying to work on one all day. I don't know how to word it. Basically, I'd like to know, what did he do differently than a lot of his contemporaries? With all the change to college athletics, they just see you. Like highly successful people. And we've talked about on the show how Rick Barnes has really evolved as a coach since he's been here. He does things like, whether it's X's and O's differently to, how he handles. It may not be a question for today, but I don't know.
This will be, as far as I know, his first chance to comment on Tony Vitello leaving. I would definitely like to ask him for his thoughts on that.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They were tight.
Yeah, absolutely. He was right there in Omaha with him when they celebrated the College World Series title. Yeah, I mean, we're going to obviously talk ball with him. We heard it from one of our listeners. We already had it pre-baked into our questions. There's a lot of headlines lately about G League players going back to college, and I want to get his take on that because you talk about his contemporaries, the ones that are still coaching, they got a problem with it. And they're being, I'm talking Izzo, Sampson, Cal, all these guys. So I want to get Rick's take on that. We'll get to a lot. It's he's always a good interview, man. He keeps it very real with us.
Let's grab a call from Jordan real quick. Good afternoon, Jordan. You're on the Drive, Fan Run Radio.
Hey, fellas.
What's up?
Not much, buddy. Just driving home. So I had been thinking some on the Tony Vitello and who's to blame. And the more I think about it, the less I think it's Danny White to blame. The less I think it's the Giants. You can't blame them. I blame the women of Knoxville, Tennessee. Because this man is a very eligible bachelor who has been in our beautiful city for years. And not one of the ladies of Knoxville was able to lock him down and get him to settle down in the greatest city in the nation.
That's a good point.
So I personally am blaming every woman in the 865 area code for not finding a way to...
What about single women, right?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
You don't think my wife should have left me and tried to?
There are a lot of angry women.
Maybe she should have. I probably.
Hey, there's a lot of women that would have. There's a lot of women that Tony Vitello was probably on their hall pass list, if you know what I'm saying. So that's who I'm pointing the finger at is the single women or the women that could have a hall pass in the 865 area code. But also, you were talking about questions to ask Coach Barnes. Interesting question I was thinking when you mentioned that was, how does he feel like this team at this point preseason compares to his Tennessee teams of the past as far as where he wants them to be, and are they, further along?
Great question.
And does he feel more optimistic about this team? I'd be interested to see if he would, give us the nice political answer or tell us what he really thinks on that.
I don't think the nice political answer is the way Rick Barnes does business. I think that's one of our favorite things about him is he just tells you.
Right. So that's one I'd like to see. And along the same lines, where does he feel like Nate Ament ranks so far among the players that he's coached as young as he is? So just a couple of thoughts that, if you're begging for questions, there's a couple right there, but I'll hop off and listen. Hope you guys have a great day. Have we heard anything about when interviews or everything's going to take place for the baseball position?
No, I mean, I wouldn't expect Danny White to be forthcoming with any sort of a timeline, but I don't think it's going to drag on too long. Interesting question. We'll circle back to that when we continue. Richard Dale Barnes joins the drive right here on Fan Run Radio. Tell a friend, tune in. We're back with more right after this.
The Drive.
Catch up with all things Fan Run by subscribing to our podcast feed. Like, rate, and download the show from the Fan Run app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey Knoxville, Surfside iced tea and vodka made with real brewed tea is only 100 calories, 2 grams of sugar with no bubbles and no troubles. That's right, zero carbonation, so it's easy to sip and enjoy. Headed to a game day or party at a friend's house? Bring an iced tea or lemonade variety pack from Surfside or try their green tea and new raspberry tea vodka. Find the can with the sunset stripes this season. Surfside iced tea and vodka, sold at bars, restaurants, and stores near you. Surfside iced tea and vodka, sunshine in a can. Must be 21 or older. Enjoy responsibly.
Dick's House of Sport at Westtown Mall is a destination devoted to sport, and it's your destination for exclusive events and experiences. Come visit a store like no other. Check out our 40-foot rock wall, golf performance center, hit tracks batting cage, and outdoor turf field. You can now rent our space for private events and birthday parties. Learn more about our events and exclusive product launches on Facebook and Instagram at Dick's House of Sport KNX. Dick's House of Sport, proud partner of Tennessee Athletics.
For over 3 years, Crumble Cookies has served the Knoxville area. From Clinton Highway to Parkside Drive, even our friends out in Maryville have reached you, our fans, with the best cookies in the game. This fall, Crumble is gearing up for yet another fantastic season. Whether you're tailgating or looking for a pick-me-up after getting the kids from school, Crumble has you covered. Download the Crumble app to check out this week's rewards and features. And stop on by. Tell them Fan Run sent you, but don't miss the cookies.
Blackford Veterinary Surgery Referral specializes in surgeries not regularly performed by your pet's general veterinarian. They're currently accepting referrals from vets all across the country. With their newly renovated state-of-the-art surgery center and highly trained staff, clients can rely on professional and thorough care. If your vet says that your pet needs surgery or rehab, ask for a referral to Blackford Vet and let them get your best friend back on its feet. Located conveniently in West Knoxville. For more information, visit blackfordvetsurgery.com.
Hi, I'm Jessica Lodgen, one of the hygienists here at Knoxville Smiles. If your children are having sleep or behavioral issues, we have things we can do in modern dentistry that can help not just with their dental health, but also their overall health. Early intervention is the key for younger patients and can avoid costly procedures later in life. If you'd like to learn more, give us a call here at the office and schedule an appointment. 865-539-1776. Or just book online at knoxvillesmiles.com. Smile brighter with Knoxville Smiles.
At Knoxville Insurance Group, they understand the challenges many consumers face when searching for insurance coverage. That's why whether it's for you, your family, or your business, they create a coverage plan specifically for your unique needs. Knoxville Insurance Group is an independent firm, which means they aren't beholden to just one insurance company. They search multiple companies, acting as your negotiator to find you the best possible policy and price. Start a quote in minutes at knoxvilleinsuranceGroup.com or call them today at 865-694-9788.
Walker through the glass this afternoon here on the show, and they're telling me, Bob, that we have one of your buddies on the line.
I don't know if he feels that way, but I'd like to call him a buddy. Hey, we've spent so much time talking about our former coach the past few days, and with good reason, of course. But as I was saying earlier in the show, we have a lot of activity for us to shift our focus to this weekend. We got football, of course, on Saturday, and then on Sunday, the Vols against the Duke Blue Devils at Thompson Bowling Arena. Cannot wait. Let's talk to the architect of what looks to be another great season for Tennessee basketball.
Yes, sir.
As we're honored to be joined by head coach Rick Barnes. Coach, how are you, man?
Good on you, buddy. You don't have to worry about that. I'm one of your buddies.
Okay, thank you. I can breathe a sigh of relief. Hey, before we get going, real quick, your other buddy, Bivin, made sure to tell me that I needed to ask you about liver mush.
Well, first of all, he's not one of my buddies. All right. He hasn't got there yet. He's working hard to get there, but yeah, Liver mush, I grew up eating liver mush. What's in it, I don't know. All I can tell you, it's one of my all-time favorite things is a deep-fried, crispy liver mush sandwich with mustard and coleslaw on a hamburger bun. I would eat it every morning if I had a chance. It's very famous in western North Carolina. They actually have a liver mush festival every spring over there where I think it's Hunter's liver mush is they only serve it within a certain radius, but I truly love it. Love it.
I'll take your word for it. I've looked it up. I've looked it up on Google, man. It looks a little disgusting to me, but you do you. That's, you know, I like a fried bologna sandwich like the rest of them. And so I get it.
Yeah, I like that too. I like it too. The same way, mustard and coleslaw and a hamburger bun. I love it.
Yeah. So let's get into it. We're about 10 days away from the regular season opener with Mercer, but obviously I mentioned it in the open. Y'all have a marquee exhibition matchup with Duke on Sunday night. And by the way, that's just one of a bunch of these exhibitions. I mean, at least on paper, this weekend looks a lot more like late March than late October. So now I know you and I've talked about this. You're a fan of these games. In a perfect world, how many of these exhibitions would you like to play if you had the chance?
A minimum of 5, because you think about it, we had a practice used to start on October the 15th. So you think about it, that would be, we would have had 5 practices. If that were the case, we've already now had like 65. And I do think that we need to play more games. I love what the NBA does. You know, they have a week or so of training camp. They play a few exhibition games. They jump into it. I just think that John Calipari's talked about it for years on years. You know, we have summer where we're together for 2 sessions of summer school. And, you know, I like to think that we can, maybe the first week of August there, figure out a way that we can play some games. I don't care if they limit it. You bring 5 or 6, 7 teams to a site and play for a couple of days, or you just have a 10-day period where you can play anybody within a 2-hour radius, 2.5 hours, whatever, just to get some outside competition. I think would be great for us. And then we come back and school starts. There's nothing better than game experience. And like we just this past weekend had a really good session with Ohio State on Saturday where we not only played a couple quarters, a couple halves, but more than that to get guys that needed minutes in significant ways. And it was really good. And you had more exhibition games. You could play with lineups more. You could do all different kind of things as opposed to doing it in 4 to 8 minute segments. You could really see how many guys could play the way you'd like to play all your starters. And so, yeah, I think it would be good. I think it would cut down on injuries. I think it would cut down on a lot of things. And the other thing is, I think, again, I mean, we're selling out Food City Center. It's a sellout crowd. And I think if you can do that, it would be great. And I also think the biggest byproduct of it is it's great for officials to get started. I mean, they don't get to do any of this. You know, we have officials come into practice, and it's a difference when we're practicing and when we have officials practicing, because they're going to blow the whistle, but they would tell you they need these early games as much as anybody to get themselves ready, because there's so many of these tournaments that pop up early in the year that, as we know, can be of real significance come March when they're in that room putting down seeds and all that. So we know how fine a line it is between winning and losing, and sometimes, you know, a call here or there can make the difference. So again, I think all the officials would think they need it as much as we would like to have it as players and coaches.
That being said, Coach, will you go easier on those officials Sunday night since it's just an exhibition?
No. You know, we've got a great crew. You know, I've said, you know, our league now has jumped to the top of college officiating with the best officials in the country, and we have an all-star. We got a Final Four crew that will be on this game Sunday, and so they'll. But again, I guarantee you are interviewing them right now, they would tell you that they're going to have to get back to, you know, they're all going to keep themselves in some shape, but they can't emulate what goes on in the up, down, change pace, turnover here. Somebody steals the ball there, running from and getting to their space where they're supposed to be, and it's the start of the season for everybody. And even in these scrimmages that we've had, I mean, they would tell you that the calls they missed, you know, and probably in some ways, from how much tape I watch and my coaches, we officiate better than them right now. And I'm being a little bit facetious, but the fact is we're just out there every day and we're doing it. But we're not running up and down the floor with them like those guys have to. We're just calling it, when we see it. But but we got great officials in our league, and I just think we need to do it more. So I just think we need more of these games.
Coach, you mentioned against Ohio State, you were able to experiment and get plenty of guys, plenty of minutes. Is in this being a traditional 40-minute game, do you approach it the same way you would a close regular season conference game, or are you going to be looking to get everybody playing time Sunday as well?
It depends. Like a year ago, we played Indiana, and if you go back to that game, we had a lead. We had the momentum, and I decided around the 11-minute mark of that game that I was going to put some guys in while we had the lead. I think I put 4 guys in that were guys that didn't play as much. Obviously, the year went on, but at that point in time, I think everybody on the team, you want them to be enthused and excited about the season. But reality is getting ready to set in that there's only 200 minutes in a basketball game, and if you ask most of them, they think they could tell you that they're ready to play 15 to 20 minutes a game. And I don't think anybody, if I ask them, how many minutes do you think you're ready to play? I'd be shocked if anybody I know. None of them's going to say below 15. Most of them would say 18 to 22. And there's just simply not enough minutes in the game. When I do it every year with our team, and this year when I did it, they came up with 360 minutes. Had each guy talk about how many minutes he wanted to play, and when we added them all up, it's 360 some minutes. So we're going to be in a lot of overtime games to get that many minutes, and they just don't know. But now it's here, and reality is going to start setting in. So to answer your question, I don't know what I will do. Like I did it last year, and we ended up losing the game because of that substitution at that point, because we got outscored there. And I let it roll because I felt like it was more important to show these guys eventually for our locker room and for them to know they had a long way to go to get there. And when we went back with the starters, they cut it down, but we ended up losing that game. But I don't ever go into any game. None of us plan on losing the game, but it is an exhibition game, and we got some things that we want to accomplish. Obviously, we want to win every time we go out. I think that's important too. But right now, that's why I told you I wish we had more of these. Where again, you've got to teach winning and what goes into losing. You teach them the winning, but whether everybody plays or not, to be honest with you, right now, I don't know. It depends on how we feel. The preparation by each guy getting ready. Like we watch all that. When we start tomorrow, we normally do everything with a 2-day prep. And then we do a lot, the night before personnel, we ask questions. We don't see the folks as we need in the shoot around and all that. Cause we will treat this in terms of a preparation, just like a regular season game. And as I stand and watch my coaches do a great job of implementing the scout report and what we want done and how we want it done, the focus will determine some of that.
Coach, let's talk about the players a little bit, because obviously a lot of preseason hype surrounding Nate Ament. That was expected, right? But now it feels like when we, some of the scrimmages that have happened, et cetera, media members have gotten a look at this team beyond Nate, and it feels like namely Jacoby Gillespie, others, of course, but Jacoby and the way he's playing. And because of that, those external expectations, writers, everyone else, for both of those guys, it feels like it's just escalated that much more. So my question to you is, based on your assessment right now of where Nate and Jacoby are, is that fair? Because it feels like that could be just a lethal 1-2 punch there.
Well, based on media, what was the word you used? Media expectations or something. They did a really good job with that with our preseason college football poll, as you can tell.
Yeah, that's fair.
So my guess would be, are we high on those guys? We are, but the guys that we're going to find out. I think you're going to watch Nate go up in the East. You don't work, and
Hey, let's jump in here and see Bear. See if we can get him on a different line. It's the second time that's happened today. I don't know if we have the gremlins in there, but frustrating to say the least. I want to hear what Coach Barnes has to say about these players. It's a good line about the.
He's right.
The football polls.
Yeah, it's true. But I mean, that's all I've heard the last couple of weeks now is Jacoby. I've said it too. It's like this guy's amazing based on what we saw at the scrimmage, and then more of that after the Ohio State scrimmage. It just goes on and on. But yeah, I'm going to be interested to, he's the one who has to temper all that. So
yeah, sounds like we got him back.
Hey, Coach, sorry about that.
Yeah. I don't know what you heard me say last. I don't know because you're paying by the word, so you might want to ask me that question again.
No, that was fine. It was just more about Nate and Jacoby. It just feels like you got a great roster in general, but those two are, super special. And there's a lot of people amping up the expectations. I came away from that scrimmage a couple weekends ago in Food City Center where I was like, oh my God, that's the first time I'd seen Gillespie live. And it was like, man, that kid is something.
Yeah, I mean, and Jacoby's been around a long time, and he's going to keep getting better and better and better too. I mean, this is his third. He started at Belmont where they did an incredible job, obviously evaluating him out of high school, and then on to Maryland. We had a great year last year, all Big Ten player. And glad to have him back here, and he works. It's a new system for him, but he's going to continue to figure it out as he goes too. And, I think we got 11 new bodies, I think, and we're excited about it. We are. We've got a long way to go. Like I think most teams, I think you talk about teams in the country. I mean, offensively, we need to be better as much as we can, better than we were a year ago offensively. But are we where we are defensively now where we were a year ago? No, we're not, because you don't lose guys like Jemima Mashak and Zakai Ziegler and but you don't. I mean, like Saturday against Ohio State, we started two freshmen. We started Nate, and we actually started Dwayne Brown out there with, who else? And we started Felix, and Felix has been around, and he certainly knows. And Amari Abrams did a good job. I thought he really did, and Jacoby. But we're gonna get better and better there as the season goes on. We have to. We got to be better with ball screen coverage, transition defense, all that. Duke's got talented players, and we'll exploit some of that if we are late getting where we need to be. But that's why we're playing. Again, that's why it's an exhibition game. We're going to, we better be better than we were against Ohio State defensively. I can tell you that. And even though Ohio State's a really good team, they've run some hard actions to guard, but we were just late getting to the gap. We're in, out, in, as opposed to just getting to the gap and then being ready to get out so we can defend the 3-point line better than we did Saturday.
Talking with Tennessee basketball coach Rick Barnes this afternoon on the show. And, Coach, you talk about starting Dwayne Brown with Felix in there. That sounds like a pretty big lineup, and you've got a lot of options in the front court, it looks like, this year. Do you think that you guys will I don't know the term, play bigger ate at times this year than you have the past couple of seasons?
Well, we're bigger. I mean, you think about it. I mean, that lineup we started, as a front line, it's got an average of really 6'10". So that, we haven't had a front line like that. But when I say front line, I saw one of my coaches yesterday showed me where Andy Katz had put out of the top 10 centers in the country, and he had Nate Ament at number 5 center. He's not a center, another kudos to the media. That's a good one. But the fact is, he's learning to play guard for the first time in his life, and our wings pretty much do the same thing. I mean, he handles the ball, and the hardest thing is not so much offensively; it's learning how to guard somebody defensively. I mean, he didn't even realize the response on the floor you had to guard until he got here, because he was normally in high school playing pretty much defensively close to the rim and close to the lane. But now he's having to realize you can't, if you don't do your work early and you catch up, or you're playing catch up all the time, you're putting yourself in a big disadvantage. And he's learning that you're on the perimeter, you're going to get screened even more so. And oftentimes it's, back screen, fade screen. Whereas in the past, most of his screening action, people came down on top of him where he can navigate it. And now he's learning how to try to get through multiple screens. And he's making great strides. He is. And again, he's going to be a different player in 2 months from now. Totally different.
Coach, I want to pivot for a second to your thoughts on this. It must be the time of year. You and I talked about a year ago heading into that Indiana exhibition, and it was right around that time that a coach with the name Tony had retired, Tony Bennett, one of your contemporaries, and we talked about that. And now, a year later, another Tony, one that's near and dear to our hearts, announced yesterday that he's leaving. You weren't just a colleague of Tony's, you were also a friend. You were there to celebrate that College World Series title in Omaha with Tony. How's yesterday's news sitting with you? And I also think about this, and I think about you from the standpoint of, it's all about the legacy leaving you whenever the time comes for you. And I hope it's not anytime soon, of course, but you got a big one. And it's like, how much does it all factor in? Obviously your players, the fans, all that stuff. That's got to be a lot on someone's mind.
Well, one, I'm happy for Tony. Yeah. And I love him to death. But when you decide to leave on your own, a situation where, and you talk about one of the great building jobs of any sport in the country, he did that. And I think he would sit here and tell you that he didn't do it by himself. He obviously was able to assemble players and staff, and that doesn't happen if you don't have an administration at the very highest level. And this university that here at Tennessee, Danny White has given every program on this campus the resources they need to win championships. But with Tony, think about it, man. He made history, the first college guy to ever do a storied program. And that speaks volumes about him. It really does. And that alone, I get it. I totally get it. But I can tell you from experience, I can assure you that when he met with the team, he cried. What you said, he loved Tennessee. I do think he loved this university. No question. He did something here that was really special. Think about it. You win the national championship when you're 45 years old. I'm sure it only makes you hungrier to do it again. But I can tell you, the only thing that bothers me about the whole thing, Bob, I'm not a social media guy, but some of my people around me obviously keep me up, and people say things that just simply aren't true. I know, and I will tell you this, I think Danny White is the best athletics director in the country. The best. All you got to do is walk on this campus. You see what's going on with every facility here. He tried to upgrade it, make it better for everybody here. He's got a job that, that I can tell you this. I saw him the day, 1 or 2 days after the Georgia football game here. Nobody was more disappointed in the way our fans couldn't get out of that parking lot. It really bothers him because he knows that he's in a position that we have to continue to raise money. We have to do it whether any of us like it or not. And I feel for those people who have had seats for a long time and people stop say they can't afford it anymore. I do. There's the other side of that is I know this, that even though you might not be able to keep the seat that you wanted, there was in the building. You know what I'm saying? And it's hard. It's hard when you don't want to move from the seat you had forever. But he's got so much pressure on him. It's just a fun. And I will tell you this. The pressure that's being put on football coaches today, you talk about this revenue share and all the money that and the good things that come around a football season, I'd want it all. Because he's trying to keep up with some teams out there that are just going to go over the top, whatever. But yet, I know that Danny and his staff, and Danny would tell you what he would get done. He could not have gotten it done without Randy Boyd and Donnie Feinman telling him that, hey, your job is to build the best athletics program in the country. And there's so many false narratives out there about a lot of things that people really, I don't know how to get started sometimes. I really don't. But I can tell you this. I mean, I think one of them was somebody said that Danny had taken money away from women's basketball or baseball to give it to. I know that's not true. Because he knows what we all have to have. He knows. And I can tell you, like, I think, I'm going to say this with our programs, I'd be shocked in every sport here. I'm going to say top 3, but I would prefer one of our programs in that range. And there's always going to be some outliers and people spend some more money. But I'm telling you, I know how hard he's worked here and what he's gone through to get that done. And I know Tony appreciated how hard that everyone from our academic people that Danny's always talking about the VIP experience for our athletes. I mean, if you knew how difficult it was on this campus, because most of our guys live off campus, most athletes, on the campus, parking is a really tough situation, not only at the university, any university in the country. And Danny's trying to do everything he can to help with that. Everything. And because of that, if you go to my office, our office complex, we're they go back on they go down a little bit, and their schedule will do that. The individual workout with us and classes.
All right, we're going to jump in here. Thank you. We'll tie that up off the air, but I think we're going to have to run here. We really apologize for the technical difficulties there. We'll go ahead and take a quick time out. You're listening to The Drive. It's Fan Run Radio. Really apologize. That's terribly disappointing because I know he was saying he was preaching right there. So we got to take a quick time out. You're listening to The Drive. More Fan Run Radio coming up.
The Drive.
Big Orange Country's home for sports. This is Fan Run Radio.
White Claw is taking hard seltzer to new heights with White Claw Surge. At 8% alcohol, White Claw Surge is a stronger wave of refreshment that doesn't compromise on taste. Available in 4 bold waves of flavor like ripe blackberry, citrusy blood orange, zesty natural lime, and tart cranberry. Check out your favorite retailer in-store and online for the White Claw Surge Variety 12-pack and 16-ounce single-serve cans. White Claw Surge. Please drink responsibly.
Bankruptcy, divorce, personal injury. These are just some of the curveballs life can throw at you. Fortunately, East Tennessee has someone to help you work through these problems and recover. The law offices of Jerry R. Givens. If you're in need of legal advice, call today to set up a free, no-obligation consultation. 865-801-9250. As always, the phone call is free, the advice is free, so what do you have to lose? Call 865-801-9250 or go online to jrglawtn.com. That's jrglawtn.com. The law offices of Jerry R. Givens. Legal expertise you can rely on. Knoxville, get ready. The big sports show is coming Saturday, November 8th at the World Exposition Hall. Meet your favorite sports stars, Hall of Famer Earl Campbell, baseball greats Wade Boggs, Dwight Gooden, and Jose Canseco, plus UT legends Shamiqua Holtzclaw, Carl Pickens, and many more. Autographs, photos, and memories you'll never forget all in one huge day. Tickets on sale. Get yours now at bigsportshow.com. That's bigsportshow.com. The Big Sports Show, Saturday, November 8th, Knoxville. Don't miss it.
Running a business, coaching a team, planning your next big event, you need more than just gear. You need SM Athletics and Logo Solutions. Custom uniforms, branded apparel, promotional products, done right, done fast, and built to show off your brand with pride. From local businesses to high schools to major universities, SM Athletics is trusted by winners. Get real service, get real quality, get noticed. SM Athletics and Logo Solutions, where your brand comes to life.
Visit smathletics.com and let's build something great together. Are you tired of waiting on interest rates to drop before you start saving money? I'm Chris Burleson with University Lending Group, and I've got a better way. With a traditional closed-end mortgage, most of your payment goes straight to interest, not your balance. But with my Smart Loan, every deposit you make cuts your principal immediately and reduces interest in real time. On average, my clients pay off their mortgage in just 7 years. Call me today at 865-388-7634 or visit smartloantn.com and let's turn your income into financial freedom. NMLS number 332941.
Tired of waiting for the weekend or good weather to play around? From casual to committed, Back 9 Golf has got you covered. Open to the public and offering flexible membership opportunities, they offer 24/7 access to 5 different simulators, providing cutting-edge technology, instant swing feedback, fun mini games, and a wide variety of courses to choose from. Perfect for that solo round you want after work, or swing by with food and drinks for an afternoon with friends and family. No stressful tee times, no rain delays. It's Back 9 Golf your way. Book your tee time now at theback9golf.com.
Yep.
Apologies to the audience there. I hate it, Bob, because like he was really he had some things to say about Tony and the press conference we saw yesterday and Danny and dang it, we couldn't really. It was unlistenable. We just it wasn't. So we had to cut it off there. I hope he's not mad about being cut off.
No, he called me during the break, and that's who he is, man. He was like, he goes, man, I'll come back on if you'd like. And I was like, I just said to Russ, I was like, I'm not going to put the audience and him through that.
No,
if it's going to be like walking a tightrope.
No, we'll get it fixed before the next time.
Yeah, we got to, but we sure do appreciate him doing it nonetheless, because there's always that's him, man. He was starting to preach there, and
you pick up a lot of life lessons if you really listen to him.
Yeah,
like even when he's talking about native mint and about when you put yourself behind, you got playing catch up.
Yep.
So
yeah, really sorry about that. Trust me, like nobody's more disappointed about it than us. So we will try and figure that out and see what's going on and make it better in the future. I think, Bob, if for anybody that was trying to listen through the static there, my takeaway of what he was trying to say about the Tony Vitello situation was that he has Danny White's back on this, and he thinks some of these rumors were unfounded about the money thing, and it's certainly interesting.
Well, I think it does underscore for at least, because I think based on what we heard in the press conference yesterday, I think everybody was, myself included, by the way, quick to kind of say, okay, so he doesn't have a relationship with his coaches. Is that what we're kind of reading the subtext on? And I think what you heard from Rick today was, it sounds like he's got a relationship with Danny. Now, I can't speak to what happened with Danny and Tony. I don't know. But Rick was just, I think, giving his perspective based on his relationship with Danny. And that's encouraging to hear. So, I mean, that's the most I could decipher through all of that.
Yeah.
But I thought that was kind of and that's what he said to me when he called me in the break. He goes, he goes, I just wanted to kind of get that message out there, and I don't blame him. And unfortunately it got kind of butchered through technology.
Yeah. I think that any bosses, you're going to have your relationship in any working environment. Your relationship with your coworkers everything is going to be different. Like I don't have the same relationship with you that I have with Bear, that I have with Walker. Like it's like we have a team, but then we all have our own little things, privately, one-on-one, and an individual thing. And I'm sure that's the way it is there. And quite frankly, don't want to speak out of turn or for anybody, but I would imagine that Danny's relationships with the big revenue producing sports of football and men's basketball are probably a little bit closer just because there's more at stake. Is that fair to say, or is that?
Yeah.
And maybe it's unfair, but I mean, I would imagine that he's not spending as much time with the rowing coach as he is with Josh Heupel.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right.
So, and doesn't mean that they're not committed
Yeah.
to those other sports. It just means that there's more that there's more at stake.
Well, and we got to take him, the other thing Rick said too, that I was able to kind of decipher out of there was he made a mention that he felt Tony did get along with Danny. He said it. I did hear it before the pixelization,
okay,
whatever you want to call it.
I did not catch that part.
He did. He said that.
Okay.
And I know Rick well enough. That's, most of the time there's no coach speak with that guy. He keeps it pretty real. So that may be what his perspective of it is. And that's fine. That's what I was saying. It's like, I'm trying to take the tact at this point of, it's somewhat off into the moon at this point. He's gone, and that's unfortunate, but it's a great opportunity for him. And now for better or worse, we got to trust in what Danny's next steps are. We have hope of who that would be to be the replacement coach. Maybe it won't be, I don't know, but that's we're gonna have to put some faith in that. And it's hard right now. I get that, but I think Rick was just saying that his experiences with the guy have been positive, and that's his point of view on it.
God, man, why couldn't it have cut out while he was talking about mush mouth or whatever that?
I shouldn't have front loaded that question. Just think that was about a minute's worth of time that could have been better spent, but had to give him a little grief. I've never heard of that.
Neither have I.
I've looked it up. It's not good.
It's disgusting.
And my people come from the same area there, the North Carolina, South Carolina border. I ain't never heard of that.
It's a Western North Carolina thing.
Yeah.
Mountains.
Needs to stay there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
I can't believe that hasn't spread.
I don't know. It's like if somebody puts a fried spam sandwich in front of you, would you eat it?
Hard pass.
Maybe, but I'm not eating liver mush. But
yeah.
Apparently, Dale Earnhardt Jr. also as big a fan as Coach Barnes, but that kind of tracks. He's a Western North Carolina.
Yeah, we had questions too. We still had more, but we couldn't. I wasn't going to do that. I was like, we wanted to ask him about this stuff with the G League defections to college basketball, because I guarantee you he would have had a point of view on that. Justin Hanna had asked a NASCAR related question, which he would have loved to have answered. It's just we couldn't have heard it. That's the problem.
I wanted to ask about was it Jordan's question about like where this team is right now compared to the last two teams that went so far? Like that's why don't, when you guys are having barbecue or whatever tonight, when you guys are lounging by the pool, I don't know, it's a little chilly out, but could you ask him these and get his thoughts?
Sure.
And then bring him back to the show tomorrow? That would be great.
Yeah. All I could think of was there was part of me when he said, do you want me to call back in? I was like, no, I
do, but it would be.
I do, but you're my friend, and I'm not going to keep putting you through that. That's it's absurd. So.
All right, yeah, we got to take a quick time out here. Hour number 3 of the drive. Fan Run Radio starts at the top 5 at 5. We'll get you caught up with all the latest going on in the world of sports when we continue next right here on Fan Run Radio.
The Drive. Join us this Friday at the Casual Pint North Shore for a live broadcast of The Drive. Swing by between 3 and 6 p.m. and register to win the Fan Run Mystery Box. Pick up a Fan Run t-shirt and sample the Casual Pint North Shore's new Thanksgiving turkey sliders, all while you sip on a cold beverage and get ready for the Vols and Kentucky. It's The Drive live this Friday from 3 to 6 at the Casual Pint North Shore, 2045 Thunderhead Road, inside the Blue Building next to Soccer Taco. Be there.
Got a problem tree looming over your home? Call ECR Total Landscapes. Whether it's trimming, removal, or storm cleanup, our certified pros get the job done safely and efficiently. We're licensed, insured, and ready 24/7 for emergency calls. Big or small, we cut them all. ECR Total Landscapes. Call now for a free estimate, 865-384-2012, and mention promo code FANRUN for free stump grinding on any tree removal now through the end of the year. Also, visit us at ecrtotallandscapes.com.
Citizens National Bank.
We believe a good game plan is essential for success. With a CNB Plus Perks checking account, you'll save money with cell phone protection, roadside assistance, identity theft protection, and more. Banking at CNB has its perks. Find out more at cnbtn.com.
Citizens National Bank. Banking Banking never felt so good.
Member FDIC.
Hi, I'm Bo Cregner with the Cregner Group at Realty Executives. You know, the real estate market, like all other markets impacted by the economy, is changing all the time. And it's never been more important to be personally represented by a trusted real estate specialist. I can't emphasize enough how important it is when selling or buying to be individually represented. Call me today for a free consultation. My number is 865-742-1035, and my website is boknowshouses.com.
Got a flat tire? Strange noise under the hood? Don't stress. Roll into Matlock Tire and Auto Service. From oil changes and brake repairs to brand new tires, Matlock's certified techs do it all. Fast, friendly, and fair priced, Matlock is the home of the price match guarantee. Bring in any competitor's ad and Matlock will match the exact same tire for the exact same price. Matlock Tire and Auto Service. 5 locations in East Tennessee. Visit matlocktireservice.com to find the location nearest you and schedule your appointment.
With over 60 years of experience in the industry, Merritt Garage Doors has a wealth of expertise in commercial overhead doors in the East Tennessee area. Merritt offers a wide range of door styles like sectionals, rolling steel, high-speed, and sheet doors. They also supply and install a wide range of dock equipment. If your business is in need of overhead doors, no matter the type, look no further than Merritt Garage Door, Knoxville's best and most trusted overhead door company. Contact them anytime for a free estimate at 865-933-5319 or online at merrittgaragedoor.com.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
The number one problem we see at our clinic is delaying treatment. ED can get worse.
Book your appointment right now. Call 865-544-8220. Prefer privacy? Book online in under 30 seconds at menspronknoxville.com.
At our clinics, men's sexual health is the whole job. Look, I'm a normal guy too. I hate going to the doctor, but we've helped so many guys in here just like you. Even if pills have failed, our medical team is going to take the time to talk you through it. Same day in-house lab, and the treatments, well, they could change your life.
Your local medical team has your back. ED, performance, Peyronie's, size and shape modeling. We tailor what works for you.
I'll get to the point. Can you imagine epic performance and epic sex? Yeah, I said it.
A stronger you is closer than you think. We're available right now. Call 865-544-8220 or book in 30 seconds or less at menspronknoxville.com. Men's Pro Knoxville, making it happen.
It's time for the Drive's Top 5 at 5.
Quitting time on your Thursday, 5 o'clock here on Fan Run Radio, and time for your Top 5 at 5, brought to you this afternoon by the Casual Pint North Shore. We'll be there tomorrow from 3 to 6. Come on out, join us. We'll be having fun in the sun. Yeah, they got shade out there, but the sun will be shining, and it'll be a beautiful fall afternoon. So swing by 2045 Thunderhead Road in West Knoxville for a Football Friday live show at the Casual Pint North Shore. Walker Smith, hit it.
At number 1, Tennessee football will wear white helmets, white jerseys, and white pants when the Vols go on the road Saturday night at Kentucky. Tennessee and Kentucky are scheduled for a 7:45 kickoff on SEC Network in Lexington. The Vols wore white helmets, white jerseys, and white pants last week on the road as well.
But we're going with the white accessories.
It's true.
This week.
It's an important distinction.
It is in my book.
Yeah.
I was kind of hoping that we'd break out the orange breeches. My theory is that Kentucky, like the more orange you see, the more tight they get. But the Stormtroopers, all white, all orange, that's a clean look as well.
I like it. I love the Stormtroopers. Was it against Kentucky when Trey Smith had that quote about the orange pants?
Something about them orange breeches.
Yeah. Was that against Kentucky when that happened?
I don't know.
May have been. Was that the game where he did like the King Kong Bundy earthquake? Like full body?
Cleaning up the pile.
Yeah. Something scary about Trey Smith being 6 feet in the air and landing on somebody.
It's a big dude. That could hurt someone. At number 2, the Vol Network has announced their broadcast crew for the upcoming basketball season. Mike Keith will be joined by John Wilkerson, Chris Lofton, and Steve Hamer. Wilkerson will work as both a fill-in play-by-play voice and color analyst, while Lofton and Hamer will also be a part of color commentator rotation.
Interesting.
It's always weird to me when they decide to rotate people in and out, because I think the best booths are the one where it's two guys
static.
It's just I like a 2-man basketball booth. Like, I think it works a lot better than having a 3-man, just because it flows. Like, you don't have analysts on top of each other.
I don't think they're going to have a 3. I think this is just there are going to be certain games that Chris can't do, Steve will do. I mean, they did that with Burt Bertelkamp a lot over the past couple of years. That's what Steve Hamer filled in for, like Russ said, Burt quite a bit. I don't think they're going to have 2 color guys.
They're not. It's a rotation. That's the plan.
I'll tell you, my favorite iteration of Tennessee basketball on the radio was John Ward's solo.
Solo is fun.
So he had A.W. Davis was his sidekick for a while, and I think he might have had some other guys earlier in his career. But I grew up listening to John Ward call games without a sidekick, and it was phenomenal.
Those clips, I've seen some of those. It's so crazy.
And I think Mike could probably do. He's talented enough to do that, but he likes to bring people in. I think the former Vols in is evidenced by what's going on with football, and I'm sure he'll coach those guys up and
football
have good
broadcast on the radio has been chef's kiss so far.
Oh yeah, they're doing great, and just those old John Ward clips, like calling a game by yourself is so hard. That stuff, what he did was so impressive back in the day. At number 3, MLB Hall of Fame member and VFL Todd Helton is helping Tennessee Athletics Director Danny White in his search for the Vols' next baseball coach, VolQuest confirmed. Helton is joining Danny White, Marshall Stewart, Alicia Longsworth, and Tyler Johnson on the search team.
Tyler Johnson's the guy that he was his go-between.
Yeah, that's who he mentioned yesterday.
I mean, probably not a bad idea to have Todd Helton's advice on a baseball-related matter, hiring.
I don't know if this is related or not, but Kendall Rogers, D1 Baseball, reporting that Florida State and Link Jarrett have agreed to a new contract with a big raise that locks him up in Tallahassee for a while.
I like Link Jarrett.
He's a good coach.
Yeah, it's all working according to Buster's plan, Russ.
Well, they're getting – yeah, I mean, do you think that happened because of Tony quickly? Hey, let's go ahead and get this guy locked up. And he's been on these short lists that have been going around.
Yeah.
You hear about Florida State and their money issues and all that stuff. So Link Jarrett is a Seminole, right? That's his alma mater.
It is, yeah.
Hard to see him moving from there, but the naysayers will say, we got Link Jarrett a raise today.
Mm-hmm.
You can thank Tony Vitello, right?
You're welcome. At number 4, the NCAA approved a rule change today that will allow, last night, that will allow athletes and athletic department staff members to bet on professional sports. 2 weeks after the Division I cabinet approved the change, Division II and III management councils signed off on it, allowing the new rule to go into effect on November 1st. This doesn't change the NCAA rule forbidding athletes from betting on college sports at all.
I wonder if they would have put that out or made that decision, Bob, if they knew that Chauncey Billups and Rozier and all these other guys were going to get swept up this way. I don't know. Nothing scares me more than the gambling stuff, because it'll ruin the sanctity of the game.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like I said earlier in the show, it's kind of wild. It's so accessible now. It's like trying to catch a tiger by the tail, or whatever the saying is. I mean, it's tough.
Mm-hmm. And at number 5, a Turkish court ordered a man to pay his ex-wife compensation for both material and moral damages after he saved her number as, quote, chubby in his phone's contact list. The court ruled that the woman should be compensated for being saved as Tombek, which is apparently Turkish for chubby. The nickname came to light during court proceedings as the couple went through a divorce, and the woman claimed that the derogatory nickname was degrading and damaging to their marital relationship.
don't know. I mean, couples have playful nicknames that aren't always flattering. I know a friend of mine who calls his wife Turd. Wow. That's his nickname for it. You know, he loves his wife. It's just he calls her Turd. I mean, you know, chubby is almost worse because you're making a personal appearance is not show fodder, but you're making a value judgment on your significant other. Is it true? Do we know how big a gal we're talking about here?
Is she a two-seater?
I did not get a picture of the woman.
I think that matters.
It wasn't in the story. Wasn't in the copy. Didn't come across my desk.
And who knows? I mean, different cultures. Turkey obviously may a little bit more conservative than here, so that kind of stuff could be frowned upon. Although in some cultures, women don't necessarily have the rights that women enjoy here in the United States. So perhaps we should be applauding Turkey for their progressiveness in this matter. Exactly. Thank you, Walker. That is the top 5 at 5. It's brought to you by the Casual Pint North Shore, where we will be tomorrow, a special Football Friday presentation of the drive. Come by, get registered to win the mythical Fan Run Box. Giving it away a week from tomorrow, and everything that goes inside it live at Calhoun's on the River. Come by tomorrow at the Casual Pint. To get signed up, we'll be at 2045 Thunderhead Road inside the Blue Building next to Soccer Taco and Kazzy's. We'll be out there. We'll get out there around 2:30 or so. Obviously, the show from 3 until 6 p.m. And yeah, should be a lot of fun out there. Cold beverages, good eats, and hopefully we will begin to turn the page. I don't know if we ever will turn the page from Tony Vitello. Yeah, there are some people that, like Bruce Pearl, is still in their psyche in basketball. He's been gone, 15 years.
Oh, man.
I think Tony Vitello will have we'll be talking about Tony Vitello 15 years from now. We'll be talking about him for the rest of our lives.
Yeah, it's in a lot of ways more traumatic than the Bruce thing. I mean, Bruce, it was almost like when somebody's got a debilitating illness or something. You can kind of see it coming. Like, he was in big trouble.
But we'll start to, I don't move on, but move ahead. I don't know if we'll ever move on. We'll move ahead. We've got forward. A football game that I won't say we have to win, but we cannot lose.
I'd say we have to win.
We cannot lose this game. That's non-negotiable. And Josh Heupel, it's one thing to lose to the Floridas, Alabamas, Georgias of the world. Those things happen. So far, he has not lost to Kentucky or Vanderbilt. And I don't care how good Vandy is. They come here. I don't care how bad Kentucky is. Like, we go up there, we still got to beat them. These should be the non-negotiables for Tennessee's football coach, whoever it is. Those that could not negotiate it have lost their jobs, and that is as it should be.
It's a scary thought, thinking about the possibility of this game going bad.
You think this has been a meltdown? You think there was anger and vitriol on the air yesterday?
If we lose,
tune into Voluntary Reaction Saturday night if we lose that football game, and you want to hear some people lose their damn minds.
We're not going to lose that game.
Hope not.
Not a chance.
Hope not.
Tempting the wrath. The whatever high atop the thing, Bob. We're not superstitious here, but we are, Russ.
Little stitious.
Yep.
865-966-3435, your phone number to get on the show this afternoon. Who's next, Bear?
We have Jamie.
Jamie, you're on the drive, Fan Run Radio.
What's up, guys?
Hey, man.
So we buying it?
Rick Barnes is.
So in order to buy what Rick Barnes is saying, we got to go against what Fan Run's own Basilio has been reporting.
I did not hear all of Tony today. I know that You know, he was obviously talking about this and the situation there. And here's the thing about it, Bob, is there's a lot of nuance. There's a lot of gray area. Like you can, did he take money and give from baseball and give to basketball? He says he didn't. Barnes is backing him up on that claim. And I'm not going to call those guys liars, but could Tony have felt, Tony Vitello, could he have felt that he was not getting all the money he was promised? Possibly. I don't know. Like, we haven't heard his side of the story. I don't know that we ever will, but there is a possibility that some of this is not necessarily coming from lies, but is lost in translation.
Mm-hmm.
Just a miscommunication type thing. That's possible.
Yeah. How would Barnes know? How does he know what goes on between the money with Vitello and
it's a good question. Fair question.
Yeah, and again, as I was saying earlier, some of that might be he's basing it on how his own relationship operates with Danny. For all we know, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to hold my tongue, Bob, because I know that's a friend of yours. But I heard a lot of company speak, and I, for one, was glad when the communications went down. I'll be curious to see what the rest of the Drive fans think about that. It looks like poop, smells like poop. Normally it's poop. So anyway, guys, I got to go get. I don't understand where Christopher Gabriel was coming from either. I'm a big fan of his. I love him, but for him to think just because this baseball program's on top of the world right now, that we're not going to go out and hire the Jeremy Pruitt or Butch Jones of baseball. I mean, seriously. I mean, we go from Pat Summitt to Holly Warlick, from Philip Former to Derek freaking Dooley, and from Bruce Pearl to Conzo. And
you left out a name there, buddy. I love how people do that. They rewrite history. We went from Philip Fulmer to Lane Kiffin, who completely damn near burnt the program down in 9 months, just on their own.
So we went from Philip Fulmer to Lane Kiffin, 1 year later to Derek freaking Dooley. And we expect this administration over here that was going to give Pruitt another year after 3 wins. We expect them. We're going to hold them to. We expect this group over here.
That was Fulmer.
Different staff.
That was Fulmer.
Entirely different staff, different chancellor, different all that.
Well, Bob, to be fair though, you do recall though that Don Day and help me out, Russ.
Boyd.
Yeah, Randy Boyd were about to. I'd already given Pruitt was coming back after 3 freaking wins. If it wasn't for the him getting caught cheating,
Jamie, what does this have to do with what Danny White is about to do with our baseball program?
it'd be the first time that we see us actually reach high. If we it's like when Ole Miss goes for a coach, they shoot for, Mississippi State goes for a coach, they shoot for the sky.
Yeah, but Jamie, the problem is we had the number 1 guy, so this is like a setup. You're going to be disappointed regardless, because who we're replacing, as Russell very aptly termed him yesterday, is Elvis.
Yeah, you're right. But let's be fair, Bear. There's a tier to this too. I mean, if they go out and try to find a tier 1 coach, I can for one appreciate that. Either go out and give the job to Josh Elander, or go find one of the elite baseball coaches and bring him in. But what I fully expect us to do is go down to Tennessee Tech, or and pump up a guy who's done well at a smaller level, and for us just to sit back and go right back to not making regionals and just watching bring out the black curtain.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to do that. They've just invested 9 figures in the stadium, Jamie. They're not going to do that.
They invested $14 million in that arena over there and brought in Conzo Martin. Yellow.
What's a Sweet 16?
Again, it's different, completely different organizations. I mean, you're talking about a man who, God rest his soul, has passed away. I mean, talk about Mike Hamilton, Bruce, and Conzo. So these are completely different. Listen, I feel your pain, Jamie. I really do. It hurts. Tony Vitello, from my vantage point, is irreplaceable.
Me too.
And yet he
Same
has
here.
to be replaced. Like this show has to go on. And so we'll see what happens with this. It's going to be fascinating. Whoever steps in there is big shoes to fill. I mean, that doesn't even begin to cover it. Again, this is borderline impossible. So just a fascinating situation. It's unfortunate. I understand that people want somebody to blame. I don't know, man. Maybe
it's just life sometimes.
Maybe.
Well,
Yeah,
it could be just live sometimes, but I listen to Fan Run, from sun up to sundown, and the gist I'm getting from these guys is there is a guy to blame, and it's Danny White. But to be fair, Russ, this baseball program will be a different, replacing a guy who took a better job, who went up in ranks. While this program's still on, the number one program in the country, it'll be interesting to see what they do. There's no reason. It's kind of like when Pat Summitt retired. There's no reason you can't go out and hire any coach on planet Earth. The way this baseball program we should be able to go out and cherry pick who we want. So I'll be curious to see if that's what we do, or if we do what we've done in the past. Even though it's not the same group of guys over there, it's the same group of boosters. So let's keep it a hundo. But I appreciate y'all letting me have some time today, and I do not mind hanging on. I know y'all, this has been a busy day.
Yeah, man.
At all, not mad at that at all, and appreciate you all being a soft place for us to land as always. And I expect to be, expect some more of these calls from me in the future. Y'all hang in there.
Thank you, Jamie. I appreciate that. And like I said earlier, Bob, I don't know who to believe, because I've heard, and not just Tony B, but other people talking about, Tony Vitello had some issues with Danny White, and they did not see eye to eye on everything. And then you hear Danny say, no, I had a fine relationship with him. And you heard Rick Barnes on this show today say that's not true. Danny White's the best AD in the country. It's what he said. And he and Tony got along fine. I don't know who to believe. I'm not calling anybody a liar. That's what makes this even more difficult to stomach this week. Is it's confusing. At the end of the day, I want to believe that it's Major League Baseball, and he couldn't resist the siren song of the big leagues. But there is that little voice in the back of my head going, I don't know. Did we do all we could to keep him?
This is, again, where I'm netting out at this point is, look, we know we've got what we've got. Danny's on the clock now. Let's see who he brings in. I do think, even one of the listeners on the live chat said, what hire has Danny made so far that's been a disaster? It's a fair point, right? So let's just see what happens, man. Mm-hmm. At this point, there's nothing else we can do, honestly. I mean, we can litigate it in our heads on and on and on, but it doesn't matter now. It just doesn't. Yesterday was really unfortunate. I'll stand by that statement. But we got to move on, man. That's all.
Stay with us. We will move on to the docket. Get back into this NBA gambling scandal. Huge story in the basketball world today. And then we'll get right back to your phone calls. I believe Westchester is, I don't know where he is, but
Thursday.
It's probably a little weird. So we'll get weird with Westchester. New segment on The Drive. All that and more coming up next right here on Fan Run Radio.
The Drive.
105.7 FM, 1340 AM. Online at fanrunradio.com and streaming on the free Fan Run Radio app. This is Fan Run Radio, Knoxville.
What kind of day is it? It's a White Claw day. Light and refreshing tasting, uniquely cold way filtered. There's an iconic flavor for everyone. Come on, grab a pack. White Claw. Grab life by the claw. Please drink responsibly. Hard seltzer with flavor. White Claw Seltzer Works, Chicago, Illinois.
What if I told you could pay off your home in an average of 7 years without making more money or spending a dime less, simply by changing how your mortgage is structured? Sounds impossible? Let me show you how it works. I'm Chris Burleson with University Lending Group, helping families across the U.S. save thousands in interest and own their home years sooner. Don't believe me? Give me a call at 865-388-7634 or visit smartloantn.com to learn more. NMLS number 332941.
Vol fans, reimagine your home at Broadway Carpets and Flooring for any remodeling or building needs. With a variety of carpets, rugs, hardwood, vinyl, and stone, Broadway has all the flooring and installation options you're looking for, including pet-resistant products like Pet Perfect Carpet from Shaw Floors. Visit their showroom in downtown Knoxville or the location in West Knoxville located on Kingston Pike near Pellissippi Parkway today.
Bankruptcy, divorce, personal injury. These are just some of the curveballs life can throw at you. Fortunately, East Tennessee has someone to help you work through these problems and recover. The law offices of Jerry R. Givens. If you're in need of legal advice, call today to set up a free, no-obligation consultation. 865-801-9250. As always, the phone call is free, the advice is free, so what do you have to lose? Call 865-801-9250 or go online to jrglawtn.com. That's jrglawtn.com. The law offices of Jerry R. Givens. Legal expertise you can rely on.
Your smile says it all, so make sure it's saying the right thing. At Knoxville Smiles, we believe healthy teeth mean happy lives. Whether it's a routine cleaning, whitening for that big event, or fixing a nagging toothache, our gentle team is here for you. With flexible hours, family-friendly care, and the latest technology, Knoxville Smiles makes every visit stress-free. Don't wait another day to love your smile. Call Knoxville Smiles today at 865-539-1776 or book online at knoxvillesmiles.com. Smile brighter with Knoxville Smiles.
Ready to launch your career? Axle Logistics is a leading third-party logistics company where excellence is an energy. With an award-winning culture, Axle proves that positive outcomes come from a positive environment and a work hard, play hard mentality. At Axle, the drive for success is infectious. And with an uncapped commission structure, hard work isn't just noticed, it's rewarded. For those with big goals and even bigger dreams, Axle Logistics is the place to start your career.
Portland Trailblazers coach Chauncey Billups, Miami Heat guard Terry Rozier, former Cleveland Cavaliers player and assistant coach Damon Jones, all arrested today as part of a wide-ranging investigation related to illegal sports betting and rigged poker games backed by the mafia. According to authorities today, Billups and Rozier placed on leave from their team. So Chauncey Billups is the head coach of the Blazers?
Yeah,
he's the head coach, former NBA player.
Oh, yeah. I remember him at Colorado back in the day. A great player.
Oh, yeah. He's a really good player, now in jail.
Chauncey.
Total of 34 people arrested as the result of a years-long investigation covering 11 states and involving tens of millions of dollars. Law enforcement officials said the multiple charges involve 4 mafia families and organized crime networks. FBI Director Kash Patel saying the money involved that, quote, the fraud is mind-boggling, end quote.
I mean, I said it earlier, comparing this to the Tim Donaghy thing. Like, this is what this feels like. Feels like it'd be something that kind of seismic in basketball with as many families as they're saying are involved. Like, this could get ugly.
You just never hear this anymore. I mean, the mafia's, for all intents and purposes, I thought that, Rudy Giuliani had put them out of business in the late 90s, but apparently the Bonanno, the Gambinos, the Genovese, and Lucchese families.
I think it's kind of cool. I'm glad the mom and pop's not out of business.
The Columbos weren't far behind them either.
I'm glad this stuff isn't just still just isn't in movies anymore. It's a little bit in real life still.
Do we know what they're accused of, what Chauncey Billups is accused of?
None of it was related to sports gambling off the top in those initial charges. A lot of it was stuff like racketeering and all of that type of stuff. Nothing.
Chauncey was involved with the rigged poker games. However, it also tracks, there's an unnamed co-conspirator in the sports gambling part who's, when they describe this person anonymously, it matches up completely with Chauncey Billups. resume, player and coach.
So they're saying he helped rig a poker game, or
what he would do is they would use him as a draw to draw in fish, and they'd pay him like $50,000. And then, man, it was elaborate, Russ.
Did he know?
Yeah. Yeah, he was in on
it. That it was rigged?
Yeah, he was in on it. They had an X-ray table.
Yeah, it's amazing. I saw
where
the
they
video
could read
of
the
that.
cards. They had all kinds of like high tech. They had a shuffler that would read the cards as it was just wild.
Right now, the official charges are wire fraud conspiracy. Sorry, it just reset on me. But it was wire fraud conspiracy and another conspiracy charge. No gambling charges.
I got nailed for the whole shebang.
Yeah, I'm just looking here. You got Brian Windhorst, who is a good source, saying the NBA knew about it and tried to sweep it under the rug.
Ooh.
Oh, no.
You think this could rise to Adam Silver, cost him his job?
I don't know.
Trying to sweep a gambling scandal under the rug?
I feel like, this on top of the whole Kawhi Leonard thing that happened about a month and a half ago. 2 scandals on top of each other.
Yeah.
I mean, we've also had how many players that have been banned, basically given the Pete Rose treatment?
It's only like one real guy. It was the DeJounte Porter kid in Toronto that got banned. There was the guy in Detroit, Malik Beasley, who I think is about to be like cleared and put back on NBA teams.
I think this is just the new normal in this with legalized sports betting, which I'm not saying like, we tried to outlaw alcohol in the 1920s. That didn't go well.
It's made a lot of bad people very rich.
The mob gets involved then. It's just, I mean, that's probably a really good analogy too. Is like alcohol and gambling. It's like,
but I think
there's nothing wrong with having that cold beer after work, right? There's nothing wrong with a glass of wine with the missus or something. That can be a really enjoyable part of life.
Right.
You can also take it way, way, way too far, become an addict and have it ruin your life and people die. And it's a terrible thing. Gambling is the same way.
Yeah, it's a vice.
It's
7 deadly sins.
Well, it's not. It's when done properly harmless. I love gambling on college football games, man. It's just the best. It's fun with baseball, basketball too, all that stuff.
Yeah, but you can't.
But it's when you're just one guy making a couple of $20 bets on your phone.
Right.
That's a lot different than like Shohei Ohtani's interpreter getting hundreds of thousands of dollars in the hole and owing bad people a lot of money. Like, it can go wrong quickly.
I just think anybody that's involved in any kind of point shaving or manipulating it from within the game, they got to just stick with the zero tolerance policy and banish them forever. Strike their names from the record books.
By the way, to add on top of the story, the third guy, Damon Jones, the old basketball player, the longtime NBA player, coached for the Cavs at one point, he is also being accused, and the evidence is there, that he was giving out injury information to people about when LeBron James was hurt last year for the Lakers, and apparently he was giving out that kind of information on games as well.
Well, and let the buyer beware. I mean, you think about this stuff when you're placing your wagers. Meanwhile, nearly 2 weeks after a woman and her daughter were injured in a hit and run after the Tennessee-Georgia game, a suspect has been arrested across state lines. A man from Dalton, Georgia, arrested on October 21st, a town more than 100 miles away from Knoxville. The 78-year-old was charged with 2 counts of reckless aggravated vehicular assault and 1 count of leaving the scene of an accident. He will be extradited to Tennessee in the coming days. A 45-year-old woman and her 14-year-old daughter were hit near the 630 block of Concord Street by a small SUV, according to KPD. The pedestrians were sitting on the curb in front of a parking lot and were hit as the car exited. The mother and daughter were struck around 9 p.m. October 11th. Witnesses ran after the car and were able to see the Georgia license plate and report that information, but it took 2 weeks to to track down and arrest the perpetrator. A woman and her daughter were taken to UT Medical Center by ambulance with non-life-threatening injuries. She posted on her Facebook page that her knee was split open. Her daughter had a broken shoulder blade and her arm was in a sling.
I'm glad those two are okay. That's terrifying.
Yeah. And people just driving off. No, he was a 78-year-old man. Like, he hit a curb. They were sitting, like they weren't crossing.
Yeah.
So this sounds like, you remember like a year or two ago out here in Farragut, there was some old man who was driving and ran over a kid who like was sitting by the bus stop with her legs in the street.
Oh, I remember this story.
And he didn't know. Like, he didn't know. He just kept going. And like, it was a big scandal, hit and run. I think they found him and found out it's like, yeah, he probably didn't realize what he had done. I wonder if this is perhaps similar. Guy 78.
Tragic. It's tragedy.
That is the docket, brought to you by the law offices of Jerry R. Givens. If you are in need of legal advice, call my friend Jerry Givens. He will help you through whatever legal situation you're going through: divorce, bankruptcy, you've been arrested, DUI, personal injury, anything like that. Jerry can help you work through what can often be a overwhelming situation if you've ever had to be in court or anything like that. Jerry's a Knoxville native, went to UT College of Law, expert lawyer with experience in over 80 courts in the great state of Tennessee. If you need legal advice, don't hesitate to call. The phone call is free. The advice is free. So what do you have to lose? 865-801-9250 is your number to set up your free consultation. 865-801-9250. Or you can just go online to jrglawtn.com, the law offices of Jerry R. Givens. Legal expertise you can rely on. 865-966-3435 is our phone number. Here on The Drive, it's been an eventful couple of days here on Rocky Top, to say the least. Wow.
Yeah. I mean, you're right. I mean, we got to start thinking about this football game
I can't, man. I'm not ready.
We only got another 3.5 hours of show to break it down.
We'll do it tomorrow.
All right.
We'll do it tomorrow. I'll be ready tomorrow. And if I'm not, I'll fake it. But I can't fake it today, Walker. I just can't. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're right. I will say, despite the audio problems we were having, it was nice hearing Rick Barnes talk about the basketball team and thinking, man, we're only a couple of days away from seeing the guys against Duke in our first game in about a week and a half.
That's crazy what that atmosphere is going to be like, too, with the sold out, the freaking Duke Blue Devil. I'm sure there'll be a lot of blue in there.
Speaking of that, I got a thing in my email. I'll have to look it up, but it's from the university, and they are being very, very, very clear about how they want your entrance plan to be at the game.
Hey, man. Here's unsolicited advice. Why don't we just do what we've been doing for 30 years?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Are we changing this too?
Yeah, I don't know. I just saw that.
Here's an idea.
Like,
you go inside.
Yeah. Here's an idea. The parking spots we've been using for 20 plus years are still there, and the doors are still there. We can just keep using them the same way we've been using them.
Why are we
instead of
having these
changing
conversations? Like, okay, you tried something new. I'm not mad at you, but guess what? It didn't work. Like, just go back to what you've been doing, man.
You're catching a lot of bad publicity over it.
Well, and it wasn't fixed. He had that was something Coach Barnes was talking about, and I absolutely believe him that Danny White was personally impacted by what happened at the Georgia game.
Yeah,
but it happened again at the Arkansas game.
Yeah,
and I'm really wondering what that Oklahoma game is going to be like.
It's a kind of a safety. It's a major safety issue.
Yeah, this is I've never gotten this kind of directive before for any basketball game, and they're saying it's sold out, which it is, but we've had other sold out games. And this one, their fans must enter through one of the below gates. They've identified where you can only go.
Well, this should go swimmingly.
Nobody's reading this, man. Who are these people that are?
This is a yeah, this is a bit of a CYA.
I'm looking at this thing too. I mean, ain't nobody reading that.
No, I'm not. I mean, I'll do what I do normally. I mean, it's like I'll just come from.
I'm going in the door I want to go in.
Yeah, it's like, well, no, I mean, I park in G10, I walk across, and I mean, I know the drill. It's just very interesting that now you got to believe this is some of the residue from the football games that they're just going, hey, we got to.
It's going to be 22,000, man. And it's going to be sold out.
Yep.
I've never had a hard time getting in or out of the arena. I mean, you sometimes, if it's a sold out game, you know it's going to be
normal
a
traffic.
Like,
Traffic. It takes a few.
Yeah.
Never requiring a special
man
entrance. Okay. Hope it goes.
I just say, like, not a good week for. There's a lot that could go wrong this weekend. I'll be optimistic and say that we're going to win Saturday night, and that the basketball game, win or lose, like, we'll get everybody in and out of there. Nobody's going to throw a fit if we lose to Duke, but in an exhibition game. But if you have people stuck in a parking garage for 3 hours, then
things could get dicey.
They do talk about here that they are work is continuing to take place to extend Rocky Top Wi-Fi into Food City Center. The installation of Wi-Fi access points has begun, and some fans will begin to see associated underseat enclosures. Installation and onboarding of the network enhancements will continue throughout the game. No, throughout the season. Please stay tuned. Hey, I'm there for that. They got to keep working to upgrade the internet in there.
Do they?
I don't.
Do they?
Yeah, I don't.
Can we put our phones down? How about that? How about we put our phones in our pocket unless there's an emergency and we watch the game that's happening
But
in
what
front
if
of us?
what if you're doing some live wagering on the game?
Well, there's enough to. I'm saying, like, if you want to place a quick bet or check Twitter during a timeout or something, like, that's one thing. But like, I feel like there's a lot of people who go to the game and they're just on their phone.
Yeah.
Or what ends up happening to me, I have to mute your guys at RTI during games because they're there and they're way ahead. And if I glance at Twitter, like, there was one game, it was a big
We're talking
game.
about people who are at the game.
Yeah, I know.
Why would you be looking at?
You don't want to slow down the guys
report.
live reporting.
Well, they're way ahead of everybody that's not at the game.
That's why they're
Hold on.
reporting live.
I'm confused.
That's the whole idea.
If you're at the game,
No. If you're at your house,
that's
and you
not
pull
what we're
up
talking
Twitter-
about. We're talking about people who are at the game.
Exactly. You're misunderstanding me.
What are you saying?
I want it to be slowed down for Ryan and Rick and those guys.
What, real life to be slowed down? What
no,
are you talking
their
about?
internet connection, they can't tweet out the results of what's going on when I'm at home watching on TV.
Just put your phone down. I don't know what to tell you. I'm talking about people that are at the game watching in a shared communal experience who are just sitting there on their phone.
That's just life in the 21st century, bro.
All right, quick timeout. The drive continues. It's Fan Run Radio. The shocking conclusion coming up, 865-966-3435. If you want to chime in, 966-3435. Back with more right after this.
The Drive.
Can't get enough Fan Run Radio? Download the free Fan Run app and take the best Tennessee sports conversations with you wherever you go.
Yee-haw! I've been hooting and hollering ever since I started betting with the VIP Play app. VIP Play has more than 200 leagues, every bet type you can imagine, live betting and live hosts, all with 24/7 support from real live people when you need them. Start betting better with the VIP Play app today.
Don't be a better, be a better with VIP Play today.
Download VIP Play today or head to VIPPlayApp.com. Make sure you use the promo code FANRUN to take advantage of their welcome bonus and so they know that we sent you. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-8899-789. Must be 21 or older and located in Tennessee to bet.
In a world filled with deadlines and screens, sometimes we forget the simple joys of life. Days filled with special moments. At Inward Half, we understand the essence of these moments. Feel the difference between our breathable fabrics and flexible apparel as you disconnect from the hustle and bustle and reconnect with what truly matters. Inward Half. Simple luxury for on and off the course.
It's time for the North Knox Siding and Windows High School Football Player of the Week. Brought to you by North Knox Siding and Windows. Call 865-689-0505 or visit them online at northknoxsidingandwindows.com.
This week's North Knox Siding and Windows High School Football Player of the Week is Central High School quarterback Caden Long. Long completed 21 of 27 passes for 246 yards and a touchdown in last week's 38-35 Central victory over Halls. Long also carried 19 times for 76 yards and 3 more touchdowns as the Bobcats improved to 7-2 on the season. Central High School's Caden Long, this week's North Knox Siding and Windows High School Football Player of the Week.
North Knox Siding and Windows, locally owned and operated. They can handle all your siding, window, gutter, and roofing needs. Call 865-689-0505 for a free estimate or go online to northknoxsidingandwindows.com.
Have you ever found yourself wishing your clothes looked brand new again? Whether it's your favorite suit, that little black dress, or your comfy winter coat, Crown Cleaners can make it happen. From stubborn stains to delicate fabrics, the expert team at Crown Cleaners uses the latest cleaning technology to ensure your clothes come back looking and feeling fresh. Visit one of their 2 area locations, Kingston Pike on Bearden Hill or South North Shore Drive near Dunkin' Donuts. Online at crowncleaners.com. Crown Cleaners, a tradition of excellence.
It's football time at Tennessee, so crack open a cold beer that doesn't fumble the flavor. Garage Beer is 100% beer-flavored beer. No gimmicks, just cold beer. Built for bonfires, backyards, and beating Bama. Garage Beer is proud to be brewed right here in the Volunteer State. So pick up a 12-pack today and look for the drive celebrating Football Fridays at select Garage Beer headquarters around town this fall. American-owned, Tennessee-brewed Garage Beer. 100% beer-flavored beer. We'll get the weekend kicked off fan run style. What's in that dang box?
I'm still hoping for a go-kart or a mini bike.
I just want Tony Vitello's little fuzzy beard to pop out and be like, that's the other thing is I keep looking at my phone, just like praying that he's going to have a Billy Donovan remember when Billy Donovan was going to go coach the Magic?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
He took the job.
And then
they had the press
took
conference and everything, and then he's like, I can't do it. Didn't Bobby Cremins do something like that too? Maybe like take the South Carolina job.
That was it. He was at Georgia Tech.
Was going to take the SC job and then decided not to.
Yeah, he did.
I think it's too far gone.
Yeah, exactly. That's my belief too.
Too far gone. It's not too far.
Don't do this to yourself, Russ.
You can bring that Wasakow. You can bring Mike Wazowski up there and trot him out there and have the press conference and everything. And if Tony says he wants his old job back, I'll stuff that guy in the fan run box and mail him straight back to Oregon.
That's a good point. I mean, we did successfully. It was a group effort from a lot of Tennessee fans and us and Tony and everybody else. But I mean, they'd hired Greg Schiano. They hadn't signed the papers, but let's be honest, they hired that dude. He was hired, and then we fired him.
Fired him before we hired him, to quote the Newmarket Mauler. Westchester, you're on the drive, Fan Run Radio. Go ahead.
Sorry, you woke me up. Before I get into my call, Bob, it's not anything else besides Thompson Bowling Arena. We don't call it by any other name.
That was Coach Barnes who referred to it as Food City Center, and that's.
I think I called it once Thompson Bowling and once Food City Center, but I get confused.
Guys, greetings from beautiful Farragut High School. We're the best team in Anderson County. Has made the trip down to play Farragut tonight. Oak Ridge Wildcats are in town in a absolutely meaningless game for them.
That's going to be a
baby club ceiling.
Yeah. Unless Oak Ridge, they just rest guys, you think?
I look for a running clock and be home quickly tonight.
Didn't Oak Ridge had one of these games last year and ended up getting smoked, didn't they? Like a Philly blunt. If I remember correctly.
They lost I don't remember which one it was, but I remember them losing something they shouldn't. But a lot of it's time for the best high school coverage on Fan Run Radio. Coverage you can only get here with Weird with Westchester as he hangs out in a high school parking lot. Guys, there's a bunch of good games this week and next week. It's amazing the job that the TSSAA has done with taking over the schedules and scheduling this stuff that actually matters at the end of the year. It's almost scary, not just the 1s and 2s, but how many 3-4s matchups that there is between this week and next week. It's really weird. The best, most competitive region in the local area is going to be 4A R2, 4A Region 2, which is Alcoa and Anderson County play next week for the 1 seed, but loser 2, the 3 and 4 is open, and there are 4 teams competing for that. It goes all the way from Gibbs, Harriman, South Doyle is still in that. Carter has the advantage right now, but they all play each other, and it gets hairy. It could actually come down to Heritage getting kicked out on a tiebreaker because their overall record is worse because they took a loss to William Blount at home in a non-region game that could cost them the playoffs. So there's a lot of exciting stuff going on. West has one more step to take before they can lock in their 4 spot and make the trip up to, I've already forgotten where they're going. Sevier County.
Davy Crockett or something? Oh,
No,
we get
play
another
Sevier
chance
County.
at the Smoky Bears?
Yeah, there.
Let's
if
go.
West can beat Carnes tomorrow night at
The Beavers are going down.
Sutherland Avenue.
The Beavers are
Let's
going
go,
down.
Beavers.
We're going to pound the Beavers.
One of the best private school games in the region, probably of the month, is actually at the football factory, where Christ Presbyterian comes to town to take on Catholic. Christ Presbyterian is the reigning
It's
monster.
Ingle Martin's squad, right?
Yeah, they're kind of the exact opposite of Webb, who looks like they will go another defeated season this year.
Hey.
All right, Westchester, thank you.
Watch it.
Be careful out there. Stay out of trouble. Stay away from the high school girls. So Weird with Westchester. Weird Westchester Thursday. Should do it on Wednesday to get the full alliteration.
Yeah.
Joshy boy. I'm sorry, you had something?
No, I was going to say it'd be really weird if he was there on a Wednesday.
Let's get Joshy boy, and then we'll go down to Texas, talk to Tim. Hey, what's up, man?
Russ, 4 years ago today, when my and your Atlanta Braves beat Bob's Los Angeles Dodgers in Game 6 of the NLCS.
We've
there's a lot of
way
chop
since then.
A lot of chop on that edition of the drive.
Joshy, we don't look in the rearview mirror. We just look ahead.
Just look forward, huh?
Yep.
Understood, Bob. So, I'm going to talk a little bit of Tennessee football, and I'm going to end on Tennessee baseball. So, well, not necessarily Tennessee football, but I think a rule that the NFL has, the kickoff in the NFL, I think the NCAA should convert to that rule. And another rule I think they should convert on is the marker that they have in the NFL that can judge exactly where the spot of the ball is. I think that would be really good for the college game. Thoughts, guys?
Sure. I mean, why not? I'm open to something in that regard. That's fine.
Life is all about trying new things.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I saw that the kickoff returns are up 30+% this season since they have been.
Oh wait, are we talking? I'm sorry, I zoned out there. Are we talking about making the pro rule the college rule and kickoffs?
Yes.
Yes.
I don't know how I feel about that.
No.
If you like kick returns, it's good. If not,
I can't get used to it, Joshy boy.
Russ, we don't see a lot of kickoff returns. That's kind of
You're right.
why I want them to go.
You're
to
right.
it.
You're right. We need to make the return. I miss that. I miss having an Evan Berry or a Dale Carter, or somebody that could house one at any moment.
Yeah.
Do you even kick it to him?
Yeah. Bear, what are your thoughts on that? Are you for it or against it?
No, I'm totally against it. It's weird.
It's weird. It's weird and it looks stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no terrific collisions with
I
guys
get
running
it.
30 miles an
Yeah.
hour at each other.
True. Guys, I'm going to end on this. Tennessee baseball sucks, devastating yesterday after we heard the news that Tony Vitello was going to take the Giants job. It feels like you're losing your brother or even your son or father. It just flat out sucks. But I'm going to be in a positive way ever since that he was mentioned for the Giants job. I hope he kills it in San Francisco. In fact, because I don't want to see him possibly, if he does get fired, to take the Arkansas or another job. That would just be one of my big fears, that he would come to Arkansas or wherever, whatever, and just beat us.
Well, and if Elander gets the job, thank you, Joshy boy, and Tony is successful and able to help prop him up. I mean, that's kind of the best of both worlds, right? Is where, because Tony will sing our praises, man. Like he'll never miss a chance to, if he becomes famous at the major league level the way he was at the college level, like that'll be. I'm trying to think of a good corollary. Like it'd be like all these Calipari guys in the NBA. It'll be like we'll be the cool school in baseball. So I really hope Elander gets this job. Let's get Tim in Texas in here next. What's up, Tim?
Yeah, to snap you out of your grief. Doesn't the Nico play Indiana Saturday?
That is true.
And it's an early game, I would think, right?
I miss Nico at night. Can we bring that back?
Yeah, I think it's
bird flu. I think
it's a noon game in Bloomington. That should be a bloodbath.
How does Neuheisel on that staff
check it out, man.
for 6 years, and nobody noticed that he was really good at running an offense and
it's a good question.
Getting a quarterback to look good.
Yeah,
well, nobody sees the games. That's why. But hey, did you have Panzika on already this week?
No.
Well, what made me think of it? You mentioned the guy mentioned CSSAA. Real quick here. I swear the game he did last week, Station Camp, Hendersonville. The referee used to be on SEC, CBS on SEC. He always called holding on the Vols back in the early 2000s. He looks like the bass player from Blink-182, Mark Hoppus. He's like,
really?
And I swear that guy was calling that high school game with a CSSAA cap on. Can you believe that's for all that? That's where he ended up.
Yeah, Blink 182 reference to end the show here. Did not have that on the bingo card.
Well, he stood out because he's always calling holding on a.
That's holding
back in the Vern days.
Tim,
if you watch any replays, you'll see it. You'll see him. He'll stand like a sore thumb. All right, appreciate you guys.
Appreciate you, buddy. Thanks, man.
One of the Blink-182 guys was instrumental in the capture of Saddam Hussein, and I'm not even kidding.
Oh, jeez.
Why not? That's wild.
Was he in the service?
No, he was on a USO tour and mentioned something in front of some admiral. He's like, if you really wanted to catch him, because he was putting out those videos, you can put some kind of sound, like have planes fly overhead, beam, like broadcasting like an undetectable sound, and have it different in different areas, and then you could narrow down where he was on the map by what sound.
I have no idea what's happening right now. Casual Pint North Shore tomorrow. We'll be there 3 to 6. Come on out. It's a football Friday. We're going to have some stuff to give away. Get registered to win the Fan Run box, and we'll have cold beer.
We need them.
We need a lot of them.
Come on out and see us tomorrow, folks. For Bob and Bear and Walker, I'm merely Russell Smith. We'll do it again tomorrow here on The Drive.
The Drive. Join us this Friday at the Casual Pint North Shore for a live broadcast of The Drive. Swing by between 3 and 6 p.m. and register to win the Fan Run Mystery Box. Pick up a Fan Run t-shirt and sample the Casual Pint North Shore's new Thanksgiving turkey sliders, all while you sip on a cold beverage and get ready for the Vols and Kentucky. It's The Drive, live this Friday from 3 to 6 at the Casual Pint North Shore, 2045 Thunderhead Road, inside the Blue Building next to Soccer Taco. Be there.
Located in Knoxville's historic Old City, Barley's offers great food, live music, the best draft beer selection in town, and now your new favorite place to watch sports. Their indoor projector is perfect for any weather, and they've revamped their upstairs area with more TVs to take in all of the action. Their menu features hand-battered chicken tenders, juicy burgers, fresh salads, and the tastiest pizza in Knoxville. You can enjoy their happy hour drink specials daily from open until 6 p.m. Barley's Tap Room and Pizzeria.
The number one problem we see at our clinic is delaying treatment. ED can get worse.
Book your appointment right now. Call 865-544-8220. Prefer privacy? Book online in under 30 seconds at menspronknoxville.com.
At our clinics, men's sexual health is the whole job. Look, I'm a normal guy too. I hate going to the doctor. But we've helped so many guys in here just like you, even if pills have failed. Our medical team is going to take the time to talk you through it. Same-day in-house lab, and the treatments, well, they could change your life.
Your local medical team has your back. ED, performance, Peyronie's, size and shape modeling. We tailor what works for you.
I'll get to the point. Can you imagine epic performance and epic sex? Yeah, I said it.
A stronger you is closer than you think. We're available right now. Call 865-544-8220. Or book in 30 seconds or less at menspronknoxville.com. Men's Pro Knoxville, making it happen.
Hey, Vols fans, Cody Brown here. I grew up right here in Tennessee and know what it means when someone says, I've got your back. That's why you can trust Farm Bureau Insurance of Tennessee. Whether it's your home, your vehicle, your family's future, or the business you built from the ground up, we will show up for all of your insurance needs. We are Tennesseans who understand what matters, which is doing right by you. Insurance is not all about just paperwork and policies, but it's about the people we insure every day. So if you want insurance that hits home, give me a call at 865-992-3871. Go Vols.
Is that old tree in your yard starting to lean a little too much? Branches hanging over your roof? Don't wait until it's too late. Call ECR Total Landscapes today. At ECR Total Landscapes, we specialize in safe, professional tree removal, trimming, and storm damage cleanup. So if you've got trees that need to go, now is the time to give us a call. Plus, we're offering free stump grinding now through the end of the year when you use or mention promo code FANRUN. That's right, free stump grinding for Fan Run Radio listeners. At ECR Total Landscapes, we live up to our name by offering total landscape services. In addition to tree cutting, we also offer a wide range of landscape installation services and custom monthly maintenance packages that create stunning outdoor spaces tailored to your vision. Give us a call today to schedule a free estimate at 865-384-2012 or just visit us online at ecrtotallandscapes.com.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
Attention service members and veterans. Introducing the Griffin Law Firm, your trusted ally in military legal matters. From court-martials to benefit claims, at Griffin Law, your mission is their mission. Here's VFL Marshall Griffin.
As a veteran and retired military attorney, I've successfully defended lifelong benefits and helped preserve professional futures. So I know that when you hire a military justice lawyer, you maximize your chance to get relief. With my unique experience, I can advocate for you because there's no military matter that's too big or too small. Let us help you make these critical decisions that could affect the rest of your life. Remain silent. Request counsel. Call Griffin Law.
For a free consultation, call 888-707-4282. That's 888-707-4282. Or just visit griffinlawdefense.com.
For the fans, by the fans, this is Fan Run Radio, Knoxville.
I will leave no room
for any perpetrator of crime across this country.
34 people in all, including former NBA guard and coach Damon Jones, were arrested after the multi-year investigation. The NBA placed Billups and Rozier on leave. Trailblazers named assistant Tiago Splitter as their interim head coach in place of Billups. Blue Jays are going to start Trey Savage on the mound for Game 1 of the World Series tomorrow night against the Dodgers, who counter with Blake Snell. Lamar Jackson limited in practice for the Ravens today. No practice for Panthers quarterback Bryce Young. I'm Dan Beyer.
This is Covino and Rich.
Hey, forget about it. 200 on the under. 200 on the under.
Just two guys with East Coast roots.
I took it back to my East Coast roots.
Come on, do it for Jersey. Let's go.
Walking here.
Two guys who now feel right at home in LA.
I'm a self-centered kind of guy. I always use the gym. Popularity matters.
Maybe two at home.
It feels gross, right?
Now, live from the Fox Sports Radio studios, here's Covino and Rich.
Yeah, buddies. Hopefully you're having a Wemby type of day.
Not a Chauncey Billups.
No, don't.
Type of day. It's World Series Eve.
Yeah.
World Series Steve Covino, Rich Davis, Danny G, Ryan, Dan Beyer, spots on the videos. Covino and Rich FSR.
No, I totally forgot you started the World Series last year.
I didn't forget. I'm waiting to see if they use any more Fox Sports Radio sound bites.
That was the only time I was ever jealous of you.
It was
and there was
awesome.
this one girl one time in Vegas that I was like,
Yeah. They used my voice as the opening montage to last year's World Series.
I remember watching you like, is that the idiot I work with?
So funny.
Maybe you'll be in the montage where people are saying Ohtani's in a slump. He's cold. He stinks.
I
and then he
hope not.
breaks out.
Yeah. It was like, there's a new standard in town, and his name is Shohei Ohtani. And then it was Colin Cowherd. I was like, oh, my God, they used my voice. So tomorrow's the anniversary of my voice opening the World Series. So, hey, let's embrace this wonderful time in sports. We called it the sports renaissance because basketball exciting despite the scandal. You got football, you got the World Series, and you got CNR, sponsored by DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL and NBA. Right now, use promo code CRSHOW, CRSHOW, to claim your special offerings at DraftKings. Again, that's promo code CRSHOW at DraftKings. The crown is yours. And remember to stream us on the iHeartRadio app, the new and improved iHeartRadio app, 24/7. Whenever you want, just search Covino and Rich, wherever you stream your podcasts, and be sure to make Fox Sports Radio your number one preset. Now, Rich, I do have a correction, a retraction of Shepard Smith. Not sure what happened there. Won't happen again.
No, you're definitely not going to be in the World Series montage.
But I said that Back to the Future came out this week. Came out this year in 85. This week, we celebrated Back to the Future Day.
Well, yeah, we celebrated the future because when, remember Doc comes back and he's like, Marty, we got to go to the future. What happened, Doc? It's not you, it's your kids. They went to October 21st, 2015, and it's wild to think far into the future when we were kids is now 10 years ago.
Right.
Is that a weird thought,
You got
right?
flying cars. Remember the shoes that inflated right on his feet?
Oh, yeah. So based on Back to the Future Day, and we celebrated it this week.
And yesterday, Christopher Lloyd turned 87.
Everyone's talking about Back to the Future and how great that movie was and still is. Classics stand the test of time. The perfect movie. We figured we'd get into that DeLorean and take it back to the last time the Blue Jays were in the World Series. The last time the Blue Jays were in the World Series was 1993. So, if someone got knocked in the head in 93, woke up today, what would they be most shocked to find out? That's really what it comes down to. From 93 till now, most shocking things. You mentioned, Caitlyn Jenner, and I mentioned that meme of Rashad, what's his name?
Ahmad Rashad. Ahmad Rashad's, he's
getting married.
His groomsmen are OJ and Bill Cosby.
and the OJ thing happened in 94. I remember because I was graduating high school. That was June 94. So from 93 till that, you'd be shocked to hear, wait, OJ did what? And Bill Cosby, TV's television dad, did what? I'm sorry, what happened? So those are two shocking things based on the pop culture stuff. What else comes to mind? We open it up to you at 877-99 on Fox.
I'll throw this in there, that the Patriots would become the standard to reach in the NFL.
Yo, because when we were kids, if you got their helmet out of the quarter machine at the supermarket, you were like, Patriots.
Yeah.
They stink.
Steve Grogan.
There was like 1 year when they got trounced by the Bears in the Super Bowl. Besides that, they were like irrelevant as could be. Wow, that's a good one, DB.
And then they started cheating.
Oh, jeez, here we go, Ryan. But no, the Patriots being like the all-time NFL dynasty.
Not even just winning one, but them be winning as many as they did and be the point where every franchise would like to reach.
The standard, right? It's like
Yes.
wild to think that.
Speaking of sports franchises, again, you could tie this into sports, into life, into whatever. 877-99 on Fox. We get you involved every Thursday, also going 50 hits.
So you're saying if you're hanging out with John Olerud in his helmet,
yeah,
Paul Molitor and
Joe
Carter, what would they be shocked by now?
Yeah, how about this? Speaking of the Blue Jays, because that was the last time they were in the World Series. Speaking of Canada, I think a lot of people might be shocked to be like, wait, what happened to the Expos? They stopped in 2004. And there's a documentary about that, I think, coming soon on Netflix.
Yeah.
Right?
And speaking of Blue Jays, how about the ticket prices there? There was an article today from Toronto.
Oh, that was wildly sad
Yeah.
that it would in 92 and 93 when the World Series, when they had the back-to-back, the ticket price was like $50, $60,
$60
right?
you could get one of the cheapest seats. Well, that was like a nosebleed seat there.
Yeah.
Somebody said they snuck in for $70, I think. And then now it's $1,000 to sneak in there for the World Series.
It's insane. And by the way, the percentages, the math don't add up, as they say. The math
No.
don't math. I got two ones that don't revolve around sports. I think if you went back to your 1990s self or someone in the 90s and said, hey, in the 2020s, get this. You know how you're shy to dance in front of anyone at a school dance? You go to a wedding, you might be a little skeptical unless you have a couple cocktails. Everyone is going to go on the internet. Oh, by the way, I'll tell you about the internet later. Everyone's going to want to dance and then post the video of themselves dancing. It's crazy. The idea that what used to be a shy thing, like, I don't know if you want to see me dance, now people record themselves dancing and be like, come on, please, everyone, watch me dance.
That's
The
that's
idea of a
so
TikTok
odd.
dance is
that
crazy
would be
to me.
so hard to wrap your brain around.
Tell a bunch of kids at a middle school, high school dance in the 90s, you're really shy to go talk to a girl and dance right now. In 30 years from now, everyone's going to want to dance in public. It's crazy.
I'm going to steal from a Sebastian Maniscalco bit, but that you would hide when your doorbell rings. Like back then,
Yes,
it's the
it was
whole
exciting.
Yes, somebody's over, somebody's here. Yes, somebody came to see us.
Bust out the Entenmann's.
Right?
The
Yes.
Sanka.
Now you're hiding behind the couch.
Sanka.
Oh, yeah, so true, because it's a different time. It's a different world. Since 93.
I got one. 1993. Hey, everyone. You knew that? You know that new thing people are fiddling around with a little bit, the internet? Well, guess what? 80% of couples aren't going to meet in person. They're going to meet through the computer.
The computer, and by the way, 93, nobody had internet at home. Nobody. Al Gore hadn't invented it to that point yet, right?
No, the first major carrier came out in 93.
In 93, yeah, but I'm saying like we didn't have
exactly.
them at
Rich
home, really.
rich people had it.
Dude, I
Maybe,
do.
yeah.
I did the 2000 stuff on Sirius XM. There's a stat that I think it was like 2000 or 2001. 4 out of 10 households had internet access. So we're talking into the 2000s. People weren't even really locked into the internet. So to tell someone in the 90s that you're going to be glued to the internet, and I mean, you could tie it together with the smartphone, I'd imagine, right? Like,
Yeah.
hey, you're gonna have a
dude.
phone in your hand. That's all you're gonna live by it.
Think
How
of the
about this?
phones we had in
Hold on,
1993.
I got the number one answer, and that's the challenge. The number one answer. I'm sorry, Danny G. I got so excited about this. I think everybody in 93's sort of perverted, creepy fantasy would be something like this. Get this. You know that hot chick you work with? That person over there? Yeah. You probably fantasized about, seeing what she does in her private time. Get this. In the future, a lot of these women have OnlyFans. And you could see your wife's best friend. You could see your girlfriend's friend. Yeah, naked, doing all sorts of weird things.
What?
Yeah, get this. Your coworkers and colleagues. Yeah, your buddy's girlfriend, she might have an OnlyFans page. It's crazy, man. I'm telling you. Because think about it. We all have
The accessibility of smut in general.
the access to things we didn't have access to before. Like that hot girl that works at that store you go to. She didn't have an OnlyFans back then. and she might now. I'm not advocating for
you're trying to tell
subscribing to this stuff, but like, all right, for example,
you're trying to tell
my
me?
girlfriend, right? My girlfriend,
Yeah.
one of her best friends has an OnlyFans. Oh, yeah. Imagine telling a guy back in the 90s, hey, you know your girlfriend's friend that you think's kind of hot? Yeah, you can see her naked if you want.
You ever look at it?
No, never.
Look me in the eyes and say that.
How could I? You think I'm subscribing to that?
I don't know if I believe you.
No, I definitely didn't. But the option's there, right? All you had back in 92, maybe some fake X-ray glasses.
Well, you know what? One last smutty one. And then
get this. You don't have to go searching through your dad's collection.
I was just going to say,
Yeah,
the
I
idea
knew
of you tell someone from the 90s, like, yeah, you don't have to like steal your dad's Playboy.
No.
Yeah.
And by the way, it's not even about what we had or what we got in the future. It's also about what we didn't have, because the movie Back to the Future painted this picture, like Danny G said, of flying cars, of sneakers that strap on themselves, of hoverboards and all that. We didn't get any of that.
Now, I would tell 1993, you, Danny G, I'd be like, Danny, I'm sorry to tell you, we're not all wearing silver suits.
Yeah, none of that. Remember the inflatable suit that Marty had?
Yeah.
He didn't get any of that stuff. So, yeah, none of that happened, guy from 93, just so you know.
All right, let's go to you guys. What is the biggest shock if you were to confront people in 93, the year the Blue Jays last won it, and told them about 2025? What's up, Baker in Illinois?
Hey, in 93, if someone said, by now you won't be able to live without your phone, I would have to say, so I just can't leave the kitchen table.
Yeah, how long does that cord stretch now?
That's funny. Yeah, that would be hard to understand for sure. You're like, wait a minute, what?
Well, Dan Byer,
Yeah, everybody has personal little computers, but they're phones.
You're a golf guy, and I think one of the more telling, sad images is, I believe it was a U.S. Open or a big golf tournament where they showed from the 90s, everyone was so locked in and watching.
Mm-hmm.
And then they showed one like last year, and everyone's phone is up, and it's really a sad reflection.
And there was actually a couple of years ago at the PGA Championship. This was at Southern Hills in Tulsa. There was that scene of somebody hitting a shot, and one guy was holding a beer. I don't know if you guys remember this.
I do, and everyone's like, I want to be that guy.
Yes, and so that guy got, the beer company hit him up. I can't remember exactly what company it was, but he became a bit of a legend because he didn't have his phone up at that time.
Yeah, I hate that at concerts, because in my mind, I'm like, you're at a concert. Enjoy it. Watch it. And if you really want to relive it, there's footage that's going to be better than your phone somewhere.
Well, I was going to say this. How about just recording something at a concert or show? Back then, if there was any sort of recording, it was thought of as taboo or copyright or why are you? Now all that stuff is helping you to try to spread your music, spread your act of somebody going.
We watched Rerun on What's Happening, getting in a lot of trouble for that with the Doobie Brothers.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you go see Taylor Swift with your kid. It's on TikTok, and everyone's like, "Oh my god,
absolutely!"
So you do watch black shows?
He does. Please. Let me tell Ryan, my favorite show when I was a kid, 227.
Oh.
Hey, you guys give TCL.
Jack K was one of my first black crushes. Lisa Turtle, too. Don't you judge me.
Rich, tomorrow for your big TV game of the week, you're going to give TCL props.
Yeah.
Think of the big-ass TVs that took 3 people to move.
Bro, I remember
big projection
Yeah,
TVs.
yeah.
Oh, my
And
God.
if you saw a screen that looks like it should be inside a sporting venue, and and somebody told you, no, you could have that in your house right now for a few $100.
Bro, the one rich kid in town that you might have went to his house to watch the Tyson fight or WrestleMania. Remember the kid that had it wasn't a flat screen, it was just had a flat front, but the
that
back of it
yes,
was like it took 4 men to carry, and they had to be strong.
So the shocking things, we're taking it back to 93, the last time the Jays were in the World Series. Game 1 tomorrow. What are the biggest changes from then till now if you were to tell somebody back in 93? Let's not take all the good answers. Let's go back to the phones. 877-99 on Fox.
Brian in Kentucky. What's up, Brian?
Hey, Brian.
Yeah, hey, I think the biggest shock from 1993 is that a beer and a brat at the ballpark cost $36.
Yeah.
That would definitely be a very shocking moment. Like, I'm sorry, what? Because when we hear how cheap things were back in the day, it's baffling, right? So, yeah, that would be a major shock. That's a really great answer.
Hey, Danny, can you do me a favor? I just don't have a computer in front of me. Can you look up the price of coffee, like a Starbucks? Was Starbucks even around in 93?
93? Maybe in Seattle.
Well, you didn't watch Sam's video he sent us yesterday because that was the whole bit of the guy in the 90s.
Yeah.